Bump on the bridge with a Tycon flow snap, vivid like the Nikon. Been cold with the vibe warm, keep it locked like the vice arm. They got her twisted like the coat arm, heart something froze like the snowstorm. Her tote bag match her throat charm. She from the land of the sand where they flex so subtle when her drink mint muddle. Left home and her man in the game that he played for the sand of the shade. She parades you the square in her shades. She like why you do that, niggas be deceptive. Young pretty restless, long as the check is addressed to a residence. She self-heal therapy, she retail on clearance, but she shopping for clarity. Reap what she sold for the dividend. Know what time is the medicine, copping the wristwatch. Cartier with the bezel on her credit, the man in hers where it's due. I swear she's so sadistic, defensive, pessimistic, reclusive. She too lit, independent. She too quick to dismiss courtship, concerned with malice. She pile up as the bout ends. She throws a talent. She clutch a half full chalice. Sip you from fountains. Check her rap. She chic, maneuver mountains. Fly away with you. Escape the negative. I'm just trying to let time on. Fly away with you. Escape the negative. I'm just trying to let. So girl, come on, let's fly. Girl, come on, let's fly. I let the thumbnail distract me from the bigger picture. Losing sanity to misplaced feelings. Real shit kept deep in her makeup bristles. Hotline blink, she sent 1,000 kisses. I just tracked, I sold 1 million tickets. I'm way too focused on this image lately. My mind is racing, 1,000,000 miles a minute. No time to slide, I guess I'm bad with distance. I never text you back, lately my thoughts they drifted around the shots to keep us all from losing who we are. We're products of a generation where we swiping left across the interfaces. Out my mind, I tend to be evasive. Yeah. All to notice how the money made us.
Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking, all right? So shout out to everybody who is in the building early. It's good to see each and every one of you. If you can hear me okay, please give me a thumbs up or a radiation emoji in the chat. If you cannot hear me, if the sound is distorted or if the visual is not looking good, please give me a thumbs down or an angry face, all right? While you guys are doing that, I'm going to shout out everybody that's here. We got Carlton Way in the building. We got Shamika Gray. We got Patricia Slade. We got Jerry Bedford. We got Brooklyn Queen 125. We got Cameron Jones. We got Carlton Way. We got Miss Nisi. We got Carla Lockhart. We got John Guillory. Shout out to you, bro. And we got Volvo 2 Love. Good to see y'all. All right. Good to see y'all. All right. So what we going to do is we're going to talk about some things. There's probably going to end up some people getting roasted pretty badly. All right. Before we get into it, we got to ask the question. Shout out to Torian. What's good with it, bro? Has Al Sharpton outlived his usefulness? What's the popular consensus on that? If you guys think that it's time to close the proverbial casket on the Al Sharpton sector of politics, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree and you feel that Al Sharpton might have some usefulness, then give me a thumbs down and let me know what he's good for. Okay. Second question for everybody. Does MAGA want to use black men or do black men want to be used? That's my question. Shout out to Bronze the God and shout out to Tedra Mitchell. They shot some articles my way that will be used in today's content. All right. Yesterday on Magatron, we asked the question, why would Trump tell Charlie Kirk to calm down the rhetoric, but not address any of the black conservatives? Let me ask y'all this. What's the difference between Charlie Kirk's content and the black conservatives' content? Shout out to Deformed Pretty Boy. What's good with you, bro? That's my question for y'all. Somebody help me out. Let me know with some answers. All right. People are making some very wild statements. And if you ask me, these statements really need to be addressed. They really do. They really do. Shout out to Patrick Taylor. Patrick says, I think a lot of blacks are angry at the Dems and want to stick it to them. Others don't like the illegals being flooded in. Now, again, I get that, right? But here's the issue as far as the quote unquote illegals go. The biggest issue that the illegals are causing is that there's a large amount of black people working low-skilled jobs. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. So I'm going to ask the same question that I always ask. Migrant crisis ends tomorrow. What's everybody going to do about artificial intelligence, which is coming for the same sector of jobs faster and more efficient and even cheaper than migrants? That's my question for everybody. Migrant crisis ends tomorrow. What's stopping the AI train? So the actual root of the problem is the fact that there's so many people working low-skilled jobs. People need to increase their self-real estate. Would you guys agree? And that's a fact, deformed pretty boy. The migrants, we'll get into that. Y'all know I got some more migrant crisis videos coming. But that's facts, though. Migrants can barely read their own language. Let me ask you guys this. If there's a perpetual large amount of Black people working in the low-skilled labor sector, does that create a perpetual vulnerability for things like lower wage labor or automation? Yes or no? Here's my thing. There's a whole host of issues that occurs with the migrant crisis, right? So there's plenty of reasons to have gripes with the migrant crisis. But I don't believe that many of the people who have gripes with the migrant crisis even know why they have gripes with it. I truly believe that. Now, shout out to Patrick Taylor. I want to ask you another question. Patrick says, personally, I would vote Trump on the illegal problem. Now, here's my question. If you live in a sanctuary city, will a Trump vote impact the illegal problem at a maximum amount? Or if you live in a non-sanctuary city, would a Trump vote impact the illegal migrant problem at a higher amount? And also, again, that question still, because in the next 5 years, there's going to be tons of AI automation. Migrant crisis is over tomorrow. How do we deal with artificial intelligence? How do we deal with artificial intelligence? Migrant crisis over tomorrow. Hypothetical situation. The first AIs that can do simple tasks are rolled out. How do we deal with that? The robots coming for the same labor class as the migrants. How do you stop artificial intelligence? I think that that's a question that people should think about. People are going to have to start doing some thinking. You know what I'm saying? People are going to have to start doing some thinking. So there's that. We got the unanswered question of how we're going to deal with artificial intelligence. If you ask me, the answer to that question is pretty simple. There's two very simple things that people need to do. For one, work skilled labor if you want to work, right? Or be an entrepreneur or a contractor, or work directly with or on artificial intelligence or automation. If people see these trends, They have to adjust to the trends. Would you guys agree? So let me ask you guys this. What is the actual illegal migrant crisis issue? If you watch all of the reports, the main issue is that it hits the labor market. Any candidate that's not offering any type of policy to improve the upward mobility of being unskilled to skilled labor to business owners, you got to question how good that's going to be. You got to question how that's going to help. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Trump didn't address the reasons why the migrant crisis affects black people so much. All Trump did was just throw out, and black people have an issue with the migrant crisis. And that's because all you got to do is just look at social media and everybody's talking about the same thing. And as we all know, Trump is active on social media. So he probably just looked at a couple larger content creators, saw what they're talking about. Would you guys agree? Shout out to Patrick Taylor. Patrick Taylor says, not just the labor market, Rob, you can't have people who come from anti-black cultures dumped into your community. Let me ask you this question. Would you agree that we were dumped into an anti-black country by anti-black people? Or the people who are indigenous here have been surrounded and overtaken by an entirely anti-black culture, and we've been living that way for 400 years? How many people would agree with that? If you guys agree with that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree with that, give me a thumbs down. Me personally, none of that bothers me because I feel like I'm Superman and I can beat the entire world. And I really could care less how they feel. And if they want to act on how they feel, they'll find out why they shouldn't do that. The bottom line is fight or die. Right? It's pretty simple. Let me ask you guys this question. Shout out to Wallow J. How many people care about our gripes? How many people wake up first thing in the morning, make their coffee, and say, how can we improve black people's lives? How many people do that? People in power, I should say. So shout out to Patrick. Patrick says black folks can't fight all these groups. So then what happens? That's my question for you. If you feel that black people can't fight all these groups, then what happens? What's the imminent result? Everybody can answer this question also. It's not just Patrick. What's the imminent result? Now, let me ask you another question. Is it that black folks can't fight all these groups, or black people in the current state of where we are economically and politically can't fight all these groups? Because like I said, me personally, I feel like I could take on the entire world myself and win. Easy. But that's just me. I'm a little bit overconfident. Maybe not. Yeah, deletion. Facts. Shout out to DC Precise. If you guys agree with DC Precise, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree with DC Precise, give me a thumbs down. How many people are comfortable with deletion? extinction, black pill, the morgue. How many people are okay with that? We have to ask ourselves why we don't have a collective that feels like that. Because me personally, I get the collective thing, but I'm also all about population control. And I think that if you have an overbalance of certain parts of the quote unquote collective, that kind of hinders the collective. I'd rather have 3 solid people around me than 100 slouches. A lot of people don't think that way. A lot of people think that everybody should hold hands and make it together. Shout out to you if you're one of those type of people. I'm one of those type of people that says, well, if we're up in the air and the plane starts running out of fuel, people got to start going out the side with or without a parachute. Most useless first. And I think that there's a lot of people that know that they're useless that kind of want to stay on the ride. And I don't think that that should be how it is. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to Calvin. What's good with it, Calvin? So, and I agree with you, Patrick. Patrick says the majority has never brought about change, but only a small minority. And the thing is, it's like that with most, right? So that's why the last time we went down this line, we asked the question about the quote unquote leadership, right? So let me ask you this question. Who is an identifiable minority of people that are moving anything forward to improve any situations that we have? That's my question for everybody. Congo Nub says you get what you voted for. Actually, you don't. You get whoever wins. I don't know what kind of elections that you've been involved in, Congo, but the elections here, you don't just automatically get who you vote for. You get who wins. Let me ask you guys a question. Have you all ever voted in an election where you automatically get who you vote for, or have you all voted in elections where you get who wins? Which kind of election have you guys been involved in? Last time I checked, 99.9% of elections, you get who wins. Shout out to Kevin Smith. So we get who wins. And everybody doesn't vote for the person that wins. Of course, unless you're dealing with Nikki Haley. So here's my question. Why hasn't anybody done a root cause analysis to see the exact reasons that are causing issues from all of the issues that we face in the United States. We got the economy that affects us in an interesting way. We got the migrant crisis that affects us in an interesting way. Shout out to DSB. What's good with it, bro? How come nobody's done a root cause analysis? Because see, what needs to happen is people need to get to the root of the problem and then deal directly with the issue on the root. If you deal with the symptoms and not the actual problem, the problem is going to persist. Would you guys agree? Shout out to D-Buck over on Twitch. What's good with it, bro? If you have a tumor and that tumor is getting big and is putting pressure on some place and causing you pain, if you just take pain medication, you're not affecting the root problem. The root problem is the fact that you have a tumor that keeps growing and is putting pressure on something. So a lot of what we got going on is people attacking symptoms and not dealing with the actual roots of the problem. Now, let me ask you guys this question. How many people in the United States do you all think are upset with the migrant crisis? Would you all say that a majority of people are upset with the migrant crisis, or would you say a minority of people are upset with the migrant crisis? What would you guys say? Shout out to Crew Reality. What's good with it, bro? Oh yeah, we got to go in on these cats, Crew Reality, because it's a lot going on. What do you guys think? Now, do you guys remember what people said about lift all people policies, the blanket policies that elevate everybody? Do you guys remember that? People said that people should beware those type of policies and stay away from them because it's something that benefits everybody. Would you guys agree? So if somebody says, I'm going to give a stimulus check to help people deal with the inflation, people would get upset if they tried to say, well, black people benefited from that, right? Because that's a policy that benefited everybody, which would make sense, rightfully so, right? Now, Katsy says it's a majority of people upset with the migrant crisis. Patrick Taylor says it's 50-50. DC Precise says, I'm guessing a minority until they're camped out on your street or stealing your phone. Let me ask you guys this. How many people think that we should take the lead on issues that everybody believes are a common problem? Me personally, I don't think that we should. You're not going to catch me out in the front of the issue that I know everybody's complaining about. And the reason why is because why waste my energy and resources on it when everybody else is upset about it and they're going to get heard too? I spend my resources and my energy on specific stuff that I got going on that I need taken care of. And I know that the other stuff is going to get addressed because other people with way more influence and resource than me are complaining about this same stuff. Would you guys agree? I'm just curious as to why people don't take that approach. Because if lift every voice policies shouldn't be celebrated because they specifically deal with everybody, then my question is, if there's a problem that specifically deals with everybody, why run out in front and lead the charge to fix it, knowing that once it gets fixed, the benefits of it getting fixed aren't going to help you out either. That's my question for you guys. That goes back to as soon as the migrant crisis is over, you got AI on your heels. When the actual root problem is, why is there so many of us that are working low-wage jobs? And every time I ask the question about why is it that there's so many of us working low-wage jobs, crickets. Democrats or Republicans should be addressing that issue if they want our vote. Would you guys agree? The issue is that we've got a large portion of Black people who are American who are on the verge of getting their job class wiped out because they're in the low-skilled areas. So why is all of this money that's going to the migrants not going toward improving the lower-skilled education in order for those people to either start businesses or have more sustainable, higher skill requirement jobs? Why is that not happening? Because the world doesn't stop. It's not linear. Just because one problem stops doesn't mean that another problem doesn't accelerate. Shout out to Charles Irby. Charles says, if I didn't take my daughter to math tutoring on Sundays, she wouldn't be studying mechanical engineering at Drexel University. Shout out to you and shout out to her. Congratulations. You know what I'm saying? That's awesome. These are the kind of problems that we got to look at. Why aren't any of our politicians advocating for that kind of thing? Now, let me ask you this, Patrick. Do you accept that? Do you accept let me ask you, and this question isn't just for Patrick, because I need to know where everybody is on this issue. How many people accept and are comfortable with social engineering and people being a pre-planned bottom class? My question for shout out to Kid Gravity. My question for people is, why are people so comfortable with that? I don't like when people have plans for me at all. If I come home and I find out that there's some plans that I don't know about, that pisses me off. I agree. I agree, Torian. I agree 100%. That's huge. My question is, do people want to work within being the quote unquote planned bottom class, or do people want to disrupt the plan? That's what we need to figure out, because I don't think that people have that figured out yet. I think that the majority of people are trying to solve a Rubik's Cube of how they can quote unquote work within and have everything else remain static. That's not going to work. So my question is, where is the strategies for planned disruption? Yeah, I got to agree, KG. Facts. Right, Torian. I agree. They have. Now, here's my question. Where's our plan for them? Because there should be one. Right? If you don't accept it, Patrick, you got to find other people that don't accept it. And then those people got to find more people that don't accept it. And then people got to start creating planned disruption. See, I grew up with one of those dads where there was it don't matter what it was. There was no excuse. There's no excuse. You got to get straight A's, and if you don't, there's no excuse. You got to cut the grass, the front and the backyard in 10 minutes, and if you don't, there's no excuse. That's turned me into a task-oriented, there's no excuse adult. Whether that's a good thing or whether that's a bad thing, I don't know. But that's just how I'm wired. So my question, well, you know what, Congo? Monkeypox statistics kind of negate that. Wouldn't you say? Who is the largest group of people that had monkeypox? And we know how monkeypox was transmitted. So I don't know if I would necessarily agree with that. Let me ask you guys a question. What was the largest group and gender of people that had monkeypox during the brief monkeypox epidemic? It was really spreading like wildfire, ironically, flaming in Europe. I guess is that Greco-Roman wrestling past. You know what I'm saying? So, Charles, let me ask you this. Shout out to Charles. Charles says these young black teenagers or young black men attacking Cam Newton is more indicative of the black youth today. Let me ask you this question. How come with all the school shooters, people don't say that school shooters are indicative of white youth? Why don't people say that? The white boy just had his dad's head in a trash bag on YouTube and it was up for about 2 hours. How come people don't say that's indicative of white youth? That's my question. I'm curious, and anybody can answer that question. It's not just for Charles. I'm just curious. That's why you got to hang out with us more, Patrick. So let's start there. That's a good place to start. This is going to be a long stream, and I had other shit that I wanted to do today, but it's all good. What makes people take an isolated event and assign that to every single person? Why do people do that? Yeah, Peyton Gendron. What was the dude's name down there in Florida? Now here goes my question. How often did that Cam Newton situation happen? I don't think that young black kids are out here just jumping adults every day. But because that happened on social media, quote unquote, now it's indicative of the youth. I don't think so. Shout out to Charles. Charles says, I'm speaking about the unruliness they display. There is no order, no structure, no discipline with the young men today. Let me ask you guys a question. How many of y'all agree with Charles? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Congo, were you aware that Barack Obama was a white president? Why do you continue to call him a black president? I'm curious. We got a bunch of black people in the comment section. How many of y'all got a white mom? And because of the one drop, because of the one drop rule, if you got one drop of white blood, you're white. Sorry. So now what we got here is an article from The Hill. How many people are familiar with Byron Donalds? Because I don't know if white people are aware of this, but black people aren't a genetic trash can. So there's that. Byron Donalds defends Trump's remarks on black voters. Now, how do you guys feel about this black conservative defending Trump's remarks on black voters? And let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys think that he chose the color of those shoes from the color of the spray tan that he uses, or no? What do you guys think? Let me ask you a question, Congo. Let's see how good your math is. How does 13% of the population win a presidential election? What's 13 minus 100? 13 minus 100 is 87, correct? So if every single black person voted for Barack Obama, unless 50% of 70% of the population voted for Barack Obama wouldn't have won. Let me ask you this question. Why did white people vote for Barack Obama? Did they identify with his mom or what? Or did they identify with the LGBTQ that he promoted? Which one was it? But here's a news flash for you. You know how white people always say that more white people get killed by police? Get ready. More white people voted for Barack Obama than black people. Prove me wrong. Shout out to Al for joining the membership. Make sure you guys show Al some love. Throw some radiation emoji and some flames in the chat. I need somebody to show me how mathematically 13% can win an election. That's what I need to know. Somebody help me out. We doing Common Core math? No, colors don't say anything. You need to give me the math. If you can't give me the math, you lost. This dude said Purple Rain like we talking about a Prince song. Let's use the alligator mouth. How does 13% outvote a majority? How does 13% outvote 87%? Somebody help me out with that. That's pretty easy, right? These are the high IQ people. Let's get that IQ popping off. How many times have you guys heard white people say, "Oh, well, I voted for Obama first term"? No, I don't need to understand. You need to understand simple math. Explain the math. Show me in what math book where 13% is greater than 87%. I'll wait. I'll wait. That's the same kind of math where people say we could get paid out reparations in cryptocurrency. If reparations is $13 trillion, how does cryptocurrency with only a $2 trillion market cap even possibly pay out reparations? Somebody make that make sense. People are saying that people have said that cryptocurrency should pay out reparations. How can a $2 trillion market cap pay a $13 trillion debt? How does that happen? How does that work? Are we talking about antimatter here or something? Like, how does that work? Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to everybody watching. If you guys haven't smashed the like button, please take a moment, smash the like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit the bell, and also please share the stream to your social media. Shout out to Katsy. If you guys agree with Katsy, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Katsy says, Congo, you still need the white vote to win. White people make up 70% of the population. White people determine the elections. Do you guys notice how anytime white people make a bad decision, there's always something that happened and somehow it's not attributed to them, despite the fact that they're 70% of the population? Well, we didn't vote for Obama. He was the DEI pick for president. Yeah, that's not what happened. Shout out to Kid Gravity. Make sure y'all show Kid Gravity some love. What's good with it, bro?
Ain't they above ground livid?
Facts.
Yeah, Byron Donalds. This dude never calls out DeSantis. I don't like it.
He sure didn't. He failed on that big time.
How you gonna talk about you're not offended by what he said? What? See,
he said that he's not offended by what DeSantis says, and he defends what Trump said.
So you're gonna defend this man going into a room saying the lights are so bright. I can't see everybody. I can see the black ones. What the fuck?
Right. Make it make sense. Now, he's in front of a whole bunch of conservatives, right? And now, mind you, the black conservatives are running around telling the white people that all the other black people we're all pookies, we're all getting mugshots, we're all getting arrested, we're all going to jail, we're all just, when we're not live streaming, we're, out deleting people. But Trump said this to the black conservatives as if he was talking to everybody else. And they sat there and they took it. They sat there and they took it.
Hold up. Hey, yeah, you got a nice set of people up in here this morning. Hey, Congo, you're actually listening to somebody that voted for Trump in 2020 and voted for Republicans in 2022. So what's your next question?
Yeah, I didn't vote.
And have I ever given you shit for that?
Nope.
And what was my reasoning why I don't give you shit? Because I told you, as long as you telling your people what the truth is, I don't care if you don't vote or not.
Facts. And that's why I don't give people that have a justifiable reason issues for either being a Trump voter or being a conservative, because there's plenty of justifiable reasons for both. You know what I'm saying? Voting blindly just to be a part of something is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I tell people that they shouldn't do.
But this Byron Donalds, now he from where I'm at. He's born in Brooklyn.
Okay.
I don't trust this dude. I don't. And it's something that I always tell people. If they give you your intellectual thought leaders or somebody that you're supposed to look at in the presidential election, you better go do your research on them.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't like this dude. They're always putting this dude up. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like him either, bro. I don't like him either. Is he the dude did he get in a fight with somebody?
I thought that was Bowman. No, Yeah, Bowman was out there yelling at people.
Nah. I mean, it was somebody that one of them conservatives had actually gotten into a fist fight somewhere. I can't remember if it was him or not. I had done a live stream about it.
We'll find out. Let's see. Nah, I don't see anything. No, I don't see anything about a fight. Probably wasn't him. Nah, they wouldn't be propping him up if he was fighting. Nah,
Okay.
they wouldn't do that.
Okay. So let's see what Byron let's see what he said to defend Trump. So let me see. So here it says Representative Byron Donalds defended former President Trump on Sunday against allegations of racism after Trump said black voters are more likely to back him because of his criminal indictments. Now, my thing is that after Trump said that should be an automatic, man. We ain't messing with you. we ain't messing with you, bro. Like, you sit there, like, you think that we can all relate to your criminal degenerate ass. Sorry, bro. Like, I don't relate to you on anything, but let alone criminality. So I can't. I'm cool on that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to AB real quick.
You still haven't even apologized to Central Park 5. We good on you, sir.
Exactly. And the thing that's crazy about that whole situation, like I had said on my stream yesterday, is that whole Central Park 5 situation, Trump is doing what he's claiming is being done to him. He's a whole clown.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's the same one who said the San Francisco reparations thing was not, it was unfair.
Yeah.
Bastard. I don't trust this dude. I don't trust him.
Black conservatives are advocating for reparations for white people. I don't know why white people would get reparations when they've already gotten countless amounts of actual reparations from the United States government. But that's what black oh yeah, sure. That's what black conservatives are going for, though. You know what I'm saying?
Where are these black conservatives, since y'all care so much about the country? Why y'all not saying something about what happened in Texas with Darryl George?
Bro, how come they didn't say nothing about, what's that dude's name? Man, Price. I can't think of it. Dude, that guy, he got deleted in Texas. He was a police supporter and all that. Damn, what was his name? Something Price was his last name. But he got deleted. He was a black conservative. They didn't care. And then they let the cop off that deleted him.
Oh, Jonathan Price.
Jonathan Price. That's it. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Because they don't care.
Mm-mm. They don't care, bro. They don't care. And what they're showing early, and that people should peep game on, what they're showing is that the Republicans, they don't have any strategy other than the same strategy that the Democrats have. And the Republicans are just going to try to flash symbolism in your face and not offer you anything. Trump had a pair of shoes that's the same color as his skin that he's holding to try to give to people that nobody wants. Some Omega Psi stomping boots with Trump label on them.
See the coon with it on?
Nah, who had it on?
Oh, bro. This coon had the sneakers on, and it we have an uphill climb to try to get these people right.
I ain't even trying to get them right, bro. Just let them aspire and turn into sand and keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't gonna get them right. You trying to get a black conservative to
I don't care about the black conservatives, not them. I'm talking about the regular folk.
Oh, okay. I think the regular people gonna be all right. It's the black conservatives and them type of people that are the biggest problem. You know what I'm saying? They actually think that MAGA wants them for anything other than a hood ornament. Them black. Go ahead.
Where your share button at? I can't stay on here long because I got to go to the plantation.
I feel it.
But yeah, this here.
Yeah, he looked like he ready to go to a step show.
Shh.
Bro, this is the first look at Trump's shoes right here. Crazy. Let me see the sides.
It's not crazy.
Donald Trump has his own shoe. Yo, tell me about those a little bit. You know anything about them?
These right here, the friends and family. There's only 50 pairs made right here. All gold. You got the gold lace tips as well. Super fire. And low key, they're actually very comfortable.
Now, if you click the heels and reparations came out, that'd be a different story, but that's not what's happening. This dude came, listen, man, homeboy came to black people with some damn shoes, bro.
Son, these are starberries. These are presidential starberries.
And what's crazy, check this out, bro. What's crazy is that you got white people, Asians, Arabs, Latinos, all literally just running around in their own little echo chamber, acting like people should be gracious for this. Now, see, here go the thing, right? Do you notice how anytime black people advocate for anything or say that we're supposed to get something, they are always up in arms about it, pissed off about it, just as red as a tomato, you know what I'm saying? But none of them said, well, Trump didn't make us any shoes. Trump didn't make us any duck shoes.
No, he shows up to their events and starts dropping the tangibles.
Exactly. So they know what time it is, because if they was on the same programming for everything, then they would sit there and be running around talking about Trump going woke because he has shoes for black people, but they're not doing that. These people are clowns, bro.
No, I think we got to find a new word than clown.
See, look, nah, we call them clowns because blackface is blackface. What is whiteface? A clown.
A European.
A clown and the European, facts. You know what I'm saying? Like, make it make sense. I want to know where the outrage is. Where's the outrage from the people about the shoes? Don't they want a pair?
Shit. I ain't gonna hold you though. Those J6s he got on there. I wonder if that's the felon edition.
They would be the felon edition if they was called the J Pays.
You might have it on the sole on the bottom. That might have his cash app.
Man, that's crazy. That's bro. Did you hear? And his son was talking crazy too.
Oh, I know. Listen, that whole family's crazy. Talking about we gonna hang out with Charlie Kirk. He is people trying to divide the whatever. He's trying to divide Charlie Kirk from Trump. I'm like, that's who you want to take outside,
right? So, yo, check this out. Patrick got a good question. Hold on, real quick.
Yes, sir.
Patrick said, "Who is more detrimental to blacks, Byron Donalds or Brandon Johnson or the CBC?" I would say all of them equally.
I'm going to disagree with you a little bit. I'm going to say 40, 20, 40. Because Byron Donalds and CBC can actually move policy that's going to fuck us up. Brandon Johnson's actually just limited to Chicago.
That's true. That's true.
Like, if Byron Donalds and the CBC really wanted to, they could just craft a bill that says the border stays open, damn a law, and Congress can go sit there and vote on it, pass it, go to the Senate, pass it, Biden writes it, and then we can't do nothing about it.
Right. I think, see, like Torian had brought up a good point earlier where he was saying like these people aren't quote unquote our leaders. And like, that's true. Like, they're not. These people are manufactured leaders selected to cosplay as our leaders.
Mm-hmm.
So I think one thing that would make sense for people to do is start making more noise, showing that we don't care for these people. These people are not grassroots people that we manufactured, people that we brought up. You know what I'm saying? These are just people that were selected by other people. So,
hey,
who's selecting them? You know what I'm saying?
Well, they're selected by the lobbyists. But anyway, would you like to see a real life example of your shame, blame, and explain?
Let's see it.
I think you're gonna have to share it again. Yeah, look at this here. He's gonna shame, blame, and explain.
This guy right here on the screen.
Oh yes, this is the guy who bid $9,000 for Trump's signature on the shoes. Yes, sir.
So, bought a pair of sneakers, these sneakers, and apparently they made me a Russian oligarch overnight. Here's how. Guys, I'm a sneakerhead. I'm also a U.S. Army veteran, and yes, I am a Republican. The title of the article read, "A Russian oligarch spends $9,000 on sneakers to support Trump." Sounds sketchy, but I actually came from Ukraine. At the time, it was part of the Soviet Union. I came here at the age of 13.
So technically, they kind of were right.
Right.
But okay.
is a refugee, but my dad had $4 in his pocket. I busted my ass working every dirty job under the sun to get where I am today in order to be able to afford to buy these $9,000 pair of collectible sneakers. But I guess the headline of Russian refugee, Ukrainian refugee, or perhaps maybe just a man, that would not get as many clicks as a Russian oligarch. I even saw a tweet from a Ukrainian patriot that said, a Russian shady watch dealer bought $9,000 pair of sneakers as a way to move money to Russia somehow. Of course, I kindly asked the author to check the fact that my own charity raised over $250,000 of aid to Ukraine since that war has started, before putting out accusations of stupid tweets, if you will. I wasn't trying to make a political statement by buying these shoes. Of course, the internet blew up. I'm getting comments and messages from on IG from people saying, oh, I am no longer following you, or I'm unfollowing you because you're a Trump supporter and I'm no longer doing business with you. It's funny, here I am, maybe I'm silly. I thought that people done business with Luxury Bazaar because we've been in business for 21 years, because of trust, because of personalized customer service that we provide and great pricing. But
hey, people probably ain't going to do business with him because they think that he's going to steal all the merchandise and put it in those bags under his eyes and run out the store with it.
Damn, leave that man alone. You know, it's hard out here for never mind.
For a meth head.
I ain't gonna say all that. I mean, you know how long you had to sit in front of your computer and your phone at the same time to get the bid in? I mean, come on. You fight with sneakerheads now. You know that they dangerous.
You can tell he looked like he'd been waiting for about a month to put the bid in and stayed up all 24 hours of each day of the month and then just made a video right after.
I mean, you running a business and bidding on sneakers just for a signature that probably didn't even come from him.
Right.
I would have asked for a video of him signing the shoes.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, does this come with a invitation to become a member of Mar-a-Lago?
Probably not.
I mean, does he want to do it? I mean, he's going to have to hobnob with Terrence K. Williams. I'm just saying.
Right.
Win, lose, or rug, they be capped. They cap. It's okay. They come. You got to understand, when they tell you these stories, you got to remember these people just showed up in 2016. They can create any dossier they want on their life. There's no records.
Oh yeah, he cosplaying.
Of course.
Of course, you know, he probably got like 9 Purple Hearts and he saved everybody, and you know what I'm saying?
No, he was probably a Democrat, and then Trump came and he became MAGA. That's why nobody can ever accuse me of nothing, because I still got my old Facebook files. So if you ever need to know how I was thinking back then, I was thinking the exact same, except I was half a coon.
That's funny.
But let's finish it off, because he has like what, another minute, I guess.
SB
was wrong. You know what saddens me the most about this whole situation is that over something as stupid as a pair of sneakers, it showed me so clearly once again on just how divided our country is. With that said, guys, there's not a mean tweet in the world. There's not an IG post. There's not a news article that's going to stop me from being who I am. And that is a patriot of this country, a country that once let in a 13-year-old immigrant and gave me the opportunity to be where I am today. And I'm going to be thankful for that for the rest of my life. You want to hate me for wanting this country to be great again? Go ahead and judge the sneakerhead. But no matter what, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Proud to be an American oligarch.
Man.
Shout out to Thought Crimes.
Listen, bro.
Idiots! I'm surrounded by incompetent idiots!
Yes. But and look, hey, family, who noticed that when Trump signed it, he pushed down on the sneaker, so he just decreased the value.
Right.
Sir, why would you do this?
He said he was an immigrant too. I wonder where he came from.
He said he came from Ukraine.
Oh, it was from Ukraine?
Yeah, when it used to be the Soviet Union. So technically, Daily Mail was right, sir. You are Russian, technically.
It must be nice to be able to play those ethnicity games.
Isn't it? You know, I can run outside right now and claim I'm Jamaican and I'll get stuff.
I ain't mad at you. Shit, I would if I was you.
Shit.
Get all that shit.
They were just shooting. I just tell them they were shooting in my parish and I had to escape. They give me $10,000 free rent for 2 years and and all the white women I want.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? You can make something happen, man.
I'm
what I'm saying?
all right. I'm all right.
Get that 10K.
All the black conservatives would embrace me so much. I'd be like Charlie Cheong.
Bro, I ain't even think I would get that 10K and flip it, cut it.
Shit. You know how many Roth IRAs I would have right now? Sitting there for 20 years.
Right.
Look at this. This is DJ Vlad.
Yeah, basically. It basically is with the shoes up there.
Oh my God.
When DJ Vlad gonna do the Trump interview and get Trump indicted?
He be deported the second that go up.
Right.
Vladimir, come here, sir. We have to talk to you.
Right.
Yeah, do you have a winter coat, sir? Yes. Oh, great. That's wonderful. So here's your ticket. Here's your boarding pass. We've already had agents pack your stuff up, and we were very, very careful to pack up your recording equipment. Yes. And we're going to confiscate all your tapes. You're going to go west, sir. You're going to go back to the home country. And by the way, Putin's people will be meeting you at the airport.
Oh, you know Vlad gonna be thrilled.
Shit. He's gonna be like he gonna be on film with the Russian hat talking about Das Vidanya. I got this Russian rapper over here, and he start talking about the mafia. They don't like that. You find you're gonna have to move to Siberia real fast and live in an igloo.
Right.
And then they gonna bomb them off.
Or you mess around and get a blood clot.
Yeah.
Like old boy did. Like old boy did. Or
didn't spike his vodka. You heard what I said.
Right.
That's all conspiratory YouTube.
Right.
We just making up scenarios. That's what black people do. We all in fantasy land, right?
Hypothetical.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah, they crazy, bro.
Crazy ain't even a word, bro. But this Byron Donalds, bro. Y'all better watch this.
Look at this. Trump said Friday during an event in South Carolina that black voters are more likely to support him after his criminal indictments because they, quote unquote, too have been hurt so badly and discriminated against. Okay, so what do you plan on doing about that?
Nothing.
Since you admit to it here, right? He admits to it. Okay, so now what are you going to do about it?
Nothing.
And how is your presidency going to fix it?
Nothing. He already said he was going to make the cops harder to prosecute. So where we going?
Right. And they part of the same legal system that's taking his money right now.
You think if he wins, he's going to federalize the cops?
I don't even know.
We have to watch out for that, because if he does that, it's over. It's game over.
Mm-hmm.
Them fuckers run up in your house with no warrant.
With no warrant, bro.
They gonna deem us the T word.
Nah, yeah, for real.
Because remember, I don't know if you saw my live yesterday, but there's Simone Sanders put it out there, calling us idiot podcasters.
I guarantee you, I got more education than Simone Sanders. Any one of those people on Roland Martin, Joy Reid, anybody.
The magically delicious.
I'll go one-on-one with any one of them people any day of the week. And I'll show my transcripts, my education transcripts.
I called out Plies and Uncle Luke yesterday. I want to see if they're going to come over here. Come over here, sir. You bring your crowds with you. We're going to have a conversation. Caribbean to Caribbean. We're going to have a conversation.
And not just them. I'll take them all out in a row. They could get Matt Walsh and Ben Shapiro and sit them on the same side of the target as Joy Reid.
I'm going to put it in the Discord. I got something you should go to. I got something for you.
All right, bet.
All right,
real quick, shout out to Miss Niecy. Make sure y'all show Miss Niecy some love. Throw some flames, ducks, radiation emoji in the chat for Miss Niecy supporting the channel for 6 months. Appreciate you. Yeah, man, that's crazy. Now, another thing that I'll do with Simone Sanders is I guarantee you I can break through her block and get into the line of scrimmage too.
Shit, you ain't Barry Sanders on that.
Bro.
Shit.
Now I hate to say that that's the only time that I'll be like Herschel Walker.
Nah, that her 3-4 defense, nah, son. That is she, she held with that nickel package. Come on now,
bro. That's good.
Woo.
It's amazing though how they got to go out, you know what I'm saying, out on the limb and call people idiots and all this.
But she the one up there lying. That's the best part of the whole deal. Talking about do your research. She listens to us.
Mm-hmm. What research is it that we're not doing?
She said that he has given historic funding to the HBCUs. I'm like, how do you tell this lie?
How does giving funding to the HBCUs translate to improving the racial wealth gap to every Black American? What the hell does that have to do with anything? Nikki Haley's dad taught at a HBCU. Facts. What she got to say about that?
Facts. But they think they know that most of the Black people do not look at politics. So they're going to go with it because they have the newsrooms and they have minions that do the research for them, even though she read it off her phone. But,
and I think they target, they try to target the people that don't do research. They won't go heads up with people that do the research.
Of course,
like I said, as far as that goes, see my channel, you know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't, I'm not even on the radar, but I would be willing to go head to head, and I guarantee you it won't be a fun experience for them. You know what I'm saying? Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to Miss Nisi with the $20 super sticker. Make sure y'all show her some love. Throw some.
Ask Miss Nisi if she's okay from last night's live stream. That live stream was wild. You should have been.
What happened? What Miss Nisi? What you do in the live stream?
No, we was talking about Jacob Rothschild kicking the bucket.
I heard about that. Yeah.
And then we started talking about British cuisine, and it just went off the rails.
You think they just downloaded his consciousness somewhere?
I hope not. I don't want to see him looking like Kane from RoboCop 2. I don't need that shit. But
I think it's time for a massive wealth transfer, and it's time for some people, since one of them is now on the other side of the dirt, it's time for them to be on the other side of the wealth.
Hey, Black people, listen to me clearly. After this election, I need all of y'all that do not, and even if you do have degrees, I need y'all to go to the trades. I really need y'all to do that. I understand you just got out of school, or you've been out of school for years, and you think that everything's going to turn around. Go into the trades. Have that on the back. Because I'm telling you right now, within the next 4 years, they're going to make degrees obsolete.
Yeah.
I promise you. Unless you're in STEM, they're going to make your degree obsolete.
Yep. And that you just brought up a good point, because out of all of the people that are graduating from these HBCUs, how many of them are in the top 10% of billionaires in the world?
Very small.
So
most of your billionaires didn't even really go to school like that. They left. At most they went 4 years. That's about it.
Right. Facts. Shout out to Black Star Racer with the $5 super chat. Make sure y'all show Black Star Racer some love. Black Star said KG's live stream last night went off the rails. Oh yeah, I'm about to check out.
We hit the vortex, bro.
Did y'all?
We hit the vortex, and I blame Cosmo Fury for that. We went to the vortex. It was bad. I had to re-upload it just now and cut that part out.
Oh, for real?
Oh my God.
That's hilarious. Yeah. Shout out to Patrick. He said, you want to impress me, permanently fund HBCUs.
They already did that, and then Biden said, nah, we cutting that off. Oh, here, we found $3 billion. Here, take that. And anyway. Y'all's Byron Donalds, man. And then I gotta go. Please. He's from Florida. That should already be a red flag.
Right.
He never challenged DeSantis on what he said, especially with the education stuff. He said like one thing and didn't press it. I don't trust him. And especially if they're talking about he's on the short list to be Trump's running mate. We're not going outside for him. I promise you we're not.
He is really? He's on the short list?
Yeah, he's on the short list. If he picks him, I'm going to be on video telling you I'm not excited. I'm going to worry about my local and state, and I'm going to go home.
Right.
Because he hasn't proven to me yet that he can go into Congress and really sway something.
And what is he actually going to sway? What is his agenda?
They tried to make him speaker.
See, remember when Torian did that live stream about when the when the blacks got ousted from the Conservative Party, and he did that Pew Research study at the end, and it said that the conservatives, they kind of they don't care about racial issues. They don't believe that racial issues exist. So to me, it should be a logical expectation to just if there's a black conservative serving any position, that's the same as having a white person in office. They're going to do everything that they can to try to negate their race to make everybody comfortable.
That ain't gonna work. I'm telling you, after this election, that's not gonna work no more. Y'all gonna be racially homeless. I promise.
They are. Now, again, and that's a good point too, because like I always said, if all lives matter, like they say on that side, what's the point of pointing out that you're a black conservative? You should just be a conservative, and that's just the end of the story.
No,
why you got to tell everybody
they need to be the mascot? Because these pussies still give them money. They need to be a mascot. They need to make sure that money stays flowing.
So they're actually race hustling.
Yes, I told you most of them are griff.
Yeah, I agree.
Griff.
I agree. That's why they call everybody else race hustlers, because it's projection.
Yeah. Okay, Ray, we know Al Sharpton is a race hustler. So are you. You learned from the best.
Right. They're the same thing.
You just say God first now, and they love you.
Right. Right.
Assholes. I'm telling you, November 5th. Hey, you ever lived in a YouTuber's house? Because I'm gonna be looking.
if they got them at the sheriff auction, I'm gonna definitely be looking.
Shit.
Especially the way crypto going up, buy a couple.
Those black conservative YouTuber storage units are gonna sell like hotcakes, bro. And I'm gonna walk in there. It's gonna be number biscuit crumbs and coon fur. And that's on that note, I gotta go to this plantation. I got 400 people to cook for today, and it's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be good. That's good.
Oh yeah,
that's job security.
Shit. Job security. Listen, I'm almost done with my cybersecurity course, brother, and then I take that test in mid-March. And I need to pass that. I passed that. Yeah, no more cooking.
You're gonna pass it. You're gonna pass it.
I need to. I need that $40 an hour. I need that, and to sit home too. Yeah,
right.
I need that.
Right. You ain't never lied, bro.
I need that.
You ain't never lied.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Y'all have fun out there. Make sure you watch the edited live stream. That's all we gonna say.
Oh yeah. I'll be checking.
And you a member, so you can see the real one.
Oh, you still got the real one up?
Oh yeah, it's on members only. I had to put it on members only. Cosmic Fury fucked everything up.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
But yes, everybody enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, stay safe, and just 12-3-6-9. That's all we gonna say.
There it is.
12-3-6-9.
There it is. All right, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to my man KO Kid Fish. Shout out to KG for coming up. Make sure y'all show him some love, throw some flames in the chat. Make sure y'all check his channel out too if y'all haven't yet. All right. So now here it says Donalds told Kristen Welker on NBC's Meet the Press on Sunday that the point is only part of what the former president was saying. So I'm about to ask y'all this. What was Trump saying? I think we all heard him loud and clear, but apparently we didn't. So what was he saying? This is political persecution from the Department of Justice and from radical district attorneys throughout our country, he said of the former president's 4 criminal indictments. Despite there not being evidence, Trump is being targeted for purely political reasons. This is something similar that Black people have to deal with in the justice system themselves. So that's, again, I want you guys to hear this. Byron Donalds says that Black people have to deal with persecution for political reasons in the justice system. So again, when it comes to him and Trump, okay, you're bringing these points out. You're bringing these points up. What exactly do you plan to do with this? Let me ask you guys this question. What do y'all think the plan is to deal with this? The congressman who is Black shot back at the Biden campaign for calling out Trump's racist comments. Now, let me ask you guys a question. If you got Biden calling Trump racist, what's the situation there? What do you guys call that kind of situation? Let me know in the comment section what y'all call that situation. All right. And real quick, shout out to everybody. If you guys haven't taken a moment, smash that like button yet, please take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you haven't hit the bell, make sure you take a moment and hit the bell. We got 59 people watching and we got 73 likes. We should be able to get to that 100 fairly quickly. What do you call that situation with a Biden and a Trump calling each other racist? He also brushed off the context of the comments themselves, saying Trump was really just enjoying himself on the eve of his South Carolina primary victory. So he enjoyed himself by downplaying issues that we got to deal with in the United States. You know what's interesting? He didn't downplay, he didn't enjoy his victory by making fun of AAPI hate crimes that occur based on statements that he made about C-19. He didn't happen to do that. And what's interesting about it is that he said something, right? He said something about Byron Donalds' race, and Byron Donald is defending Trump, trying to give Trump a pass. Well, when you want to use black people as a punching bag, feel free. Feel free. How you guys feel about that? Trump's 4 criminal indictments resulted in a total of 91 charges against the former president. The charges include allegations that Trump mishandled classified information after leaving office, attempted to cover up a hush money payment made to a porn star, and illegally attempted to overturn his 2020 election loss in the state of Georgia and on the federal level. Trump is expected to have his first criminal trial in the hush money case on March 25th. He has also been found liable of defamation and fraud in 2 civil cases out of New York, which resulted in millions of dollars of penalties. Donalds, a major Trump surrogate, is believed to be among the finalists to be Trump's vice presidential candidate. Now, here's my question to you guys. Who all is going to be, who do you guys think is actually going to be Trump's vice president candidate? Now, here's more evidence that the conservative party doesn't want to have anything to do with you. Shout out to Tedra Mitchell. I don't know if Tedra is watching, but if she is, shout out to her, because she sent this as well as some other content that I'm going to try to get in. How many people heard about this Republican lawmaker that claims that her father was a slave? I need everybody to start laughing and pointing all at once. Some Karen says that her father was a slave. Where? At the brothel? Now, we're not talking about what your mom and your dad did when your dad would dress up in the leather and your mom would have the little whip. We're not talking about that type of slave. She claims her dad was a slave. I wonder what plantation he worked at. Let's see what she's talking about, shall we? A white Republican state representative made the shocking claim that her father, a white man born in the 1930s, was a slave. A Kentucky state representative, Jennifer Decker, made the comment while trying to dismiss the intention behind diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. Ms. Decker, who is 68, spoke at a February 1st NAACP meeting discussing a state education bill she is sponsoring that would ban DEI initiatives, according to the Courier Journal. The bill would defund any training or scholarships associated with DEI. While speaking at the NAACP event, Ms. Decker claimed DEI initiatives were unnecessary because her father was a slave but worked his way to success. I need y'all to spam the chat with some laughing emojis, man. I need y'all to spam the chat with some laughing emojis. Let me ask you guys this. Is anybody surprised? Who's actually surprised by this? Please don't tell me that you're shocked or surprised or anything. Ain't no way anybody's surprised by this. There's no way anybody's surprised by this. Is anybody, if you're surprised by this, give me a thumbs up. If you're not surprised by this, give me a thumbs down. We need to investigate this further, shall we? We need to make fun of her and her entire family. Oh, man, this is, they got it behind a paywall. I'll put it to the side. I'll put it to the side. And as soon as I unlock that paywall, we definitely gonna roast this lady and her slave daddy. She said her father was a slave just to a white man, and he was white, she said. Her comment was a response to an individual asking her a question about her family's role in the slave trade, according to the Daily Beast. Despite being born nearly 70 years after slavery was abolished in the U.S., Miss Decker insisted that her father was born on a dirt farm and that his mother was the illegitimate child of a very prominent person who then was kind enough to allow them to work for him as slaves. And that was kindness. That was kindness. Now, mind you, you're free. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'll be kind enough to capture you and let you work for me. Make sure y'all show Tedra some love. Tedra's the one that provided me this article. Make sure y'all show her some love. Throw some radiation emoji and some flames in the chat. Yeah, what is a dirt farm? Where you grow dirt? Miss Decker later, look at this. Miss Decker later told the Courier Journal that her father was essentially the same as a slave because he was born poor and worked on someone else's land. That's the same as a slave? That's what Miss Decker thought. Miss Decker thought that that's the same as a slave. Let's get to consensus, court of public opinion. All hands on deck here. All hands on Decker. If that's the same as a slave, ladies and gentlemen, please give me a thumbs up in the chat. If that's not the same as a slave, well, then by all means, give me a thumbs down or an angry face. My father was a child and his family all worked there, she said. She later admitted calling her father a slave was probably too much, noting that her father did not experience the same abuses that enslaved black people endured. Well, then why just say it? Why just say it then, lady? Why just say it? Does this sound like a party that wants you to be a part of it? Now, let me ask you guys a question. What do you think Trump said about this Karen? You think he checked her? How many of y'all think that Trump checked this Karen? If you guys think that he did, give me a thumbs up. If you guys think that he didn't, give me a thumbs down. Man, California got a big problem with taking black people's land, don't they? Miss Decker also admitted that her family hadn't been kidnapped from their homes and shipped across the ocean to do work. Miss Decker's claims were widely mocked on social media, and she should be, this is her face, she should be mocked in here. Give it your worst. A white slave in the mid-20th century. Talk about recreating history. University of Louisville Pan-African Studies professor Dr. Ricky L. Jones said on Twitter, maybe this makes sense in the alternate supremacist reality that is Kentucky, but nowhere else. Jennifer Decker and her Republican friends lie and distort everything else. Why not this? And that's facts. Republicans have railed against DEI initiatives claiming that they offer unfair advantages to people who are not white or straight, who are immigrants, or who are differently abled. The language of Ms. Decker's House Bill 9 claims the initiatives make secondary education divided, more expensive, and less tolerant, Louisville Public Media reports. So that's just more proof. Like I be trying to tell people, they'll just say anything. They will literally just say anything. I'm not trying to be funny, man, but that is hilarious. That is hilarious. She trying to sit up there and say that her father was a slave. Unbelievable. They really just got to make something up in order to be relevant. That's got to be a sad state of existence. What do you guys think? How many people are glad that your state of existence isn't as sad as that lady? Here goes somebody else that has a sad state of existence. Could you imagine if your neck was as thin as Al Sharpton's? What would you do? Would you be real careful how fast you turned your head or no?
I repeat, the insult of saying that black voters would in some way be enticed to support him because he had a mugshot like all of us are criminals, or to say that because he has 4 indictments, one of which, or really 2 of which, both Georgia and the federal, around him trying to rob votings when we had to fight, people were bloody, beaten, and killed to get us the right to vote. And one person, one of his supporters, got on Fox News saying, blacks love him because of the sneakers.
Is this message effective coming from Al Sharpton? What do you guys think?
So let me get this right. He didn't support George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, Biden did, and signed an executive order. He didn't support the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. But we supposed to go for sneakers and a mugshot. And those blacks that are standing there with him, have you no shame?
Now, let me ask you guys a question. Is that SBE? Is that SBE? Have you no shame? Man, if you don't shut your old ass up. Shut your old senile ass up. How many people think that Al Sharpton should shut his old senile ass up? If y'all think that he should, give me a thumbs up. If y'all don't think that he should, give me a thumbs down. I think he should. Shut up, old man. See, that's that disrespectful shit right there. Shut your old ass up. Put your diaper on and shut up. Go sit down. You know what I'm saying?
When in South Carolina, former President Trump spoke at the Black Conservative Federation annual gala on Friday. And here is some of what he told the audience.
These lights are so bright in my eyes that I can't see too many people out there.
That's your boy Trump. Listen, man, people got to stop glazing Trump. Let me ask you guys this question. How many people have seen all of the people covertly glazing Trump? This isn't a new phenomenon. This has started, and a lot of it has cultivated in a lot of these male advocacy groups. I don't know why. There's a lot of people that think that voting for Trump is going to help them, I don't know, somehow control their household more. That's actually called manning up. That's whoever you vote for is not going to help you manage your house or manage your woman or manage your women or whatever the hell nonsense these people are saying any better. That has to do with you, your swag, your effectiveness. Voting conservative because you see your Chad counterparts voting conservative is following. People crying that women won't accept leadership. I don't blame women not accepting leadership from men who want to follow behind other men. You're not being a leader. Why would any woman follow men who follow behind other men? Why would they do that? Can anybody explain that to me? That doesn't make sense. How many people got daughters? Would you tell your daughter, you see that guy that follows that other guy? Now that's the guy that's going to take care of you in life. That's who you go for. How many of y'all would say that to your daughter? A real dad who's telling their daughter to move in the best interest is going to say the same thing that a dope man trying to cut the price is going to say. Skip the middleman, get the plug. So how do you solve that problem? Instead of whining, lead and stop following. Stand up for yourself when you hear somebody say an idiot statement like that. I would have said, well, I mean, if you can't see all of the people in the room, well, can you just get us those lights that turn your skin into leather? That should light up the entire place. Oh, we don't like that. Oh, we don't like that. These dudes don't have no backbone. Oh, that was so funny. And why would you say anything back? Why would you say anything back? It's an honor that he was making fun of me. Oh, yeah? We can play a game of who would get offended the most. I guarantee you I'll win. We could play a game like this. Who do you think, what group makes up more people? The amount of black people that are going to vote for Trump, or the amount of people that have seen Melania naked? Oh, that shit wasn't funny. Oh, that wasn't funny. This dude went to a black conservative conference and said, y'all, Wesley Snipes black. Opening statement. Now, you know everybody in there wasn't dark-skinned. And even if you are dark-skinned, it don't matter if you're dark-skinned or not. You can still be seen at night. That's nonsense. Colorist bullshit. Racism coming from white people. Honestly, I think, shout out to DC Precise, I think that more people have seen Melania naked than black men are going to vote for Trump. That's just me. I think she's had a lot of eyes on her. You know what I'm saying? Now, see, that's funny, right? Hee hee ha ha. You can't see everybody because they're so damn dark, but everybody's seeing your naked ass wife. Ha ha hee hee. Hee 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 ha ha. Can we laugh together about that? What's wrong with these dudes that they don't have a backbone, that they don't know how to stand up for themselves? I want you guys to understand something. When it comes to a lot of these conservatives that talk about single parent households, a lot of them grew up in that very single parent household. Shout out to Torian. Torian working overtime. Facts. We on it today. Torian said, and I'm back. Had to roast some black Trump supporters, but I'll be back out again because I have to give a history lesson at 12. Facts. That's what's good. They are weaklings. Bro, I agree 100%. Facts. Listen to this. Listen to this ignorant moron.
Ahead of his win in South Carolina, former President Trump spoke at the Black Conservative Federation annual gala on Friday. And here is some of what he told the audience.
These lights are so bright in my eyes that I can't see too many people out there.
If we're actually basing this assessment on how light actually works, then actually the light would drown out the white people and you'd actually be able to see the black ones. But remember, we're dealing with Trump. And real quick, shout out to everybody that's watching. I appreciate you guys. We got 67 people watching. If you guys haven't smashed the like button, please take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, make sure you guys take a moment, hit the bell, and please share the stream to your social media.
But I can only see the black ones. I can't see any white ones. You see? That's how far I've come. That's how far I've come. I got indicted for nothing, for something that is nothing. They were doing it because it's election interference. And then I got indicted a second time, and a third time, and a fourth time. And a lot of people said that that's why the black people like me, because they have been hurt so badly and discriminated against. And they actually viewed me as I'm being discriminated against. It's been pretty amazing. I'm being indicted for you.
So, okay, so here's the thing. What do you plan on doing about it? If you feel that this is true, right? But do you guys notice how none of the black conservatives there actually asked that question? Oh, okay. So that's how you feel? So what do you plan on doing about it? So now, so let's just get this straight. Let's just reel all this in. Here, right now, they're making a declaration that this discrimination and bias in the criminal justice system against black people is true. Okay, so what do you plan on doing about it? Would you guys agree that that's a good question? Okay, now that we have it on record that you agree that everything that we've been saying is true and real, what you gonna do about it? What you got? What's your policy? He ain't gonna have anything. He ain't gonna have nothing. You know what I'm saying?
The American people. I'm being indicted for you, the black population. The mugshot, we've all seen the mugshot. And you know who embraced it more than anybody else? The black population. It's incredible. You see black people walking around with my mugshot. You know, they do shirts and they sell them for $19 a piece. It's pretty amazing. Millions, by the way, millions of these things have been sold.
Yeah, so Rev,
didn't mention anything about policy one time. Everybody who was there is just a nerd laughing at the jokes, not knowing that they themselves are the actual jokes. Hey, shout out to DeAndre. Hey, do y'all agree with DeAndre? DeAndre said he answered it. He said he's being indicted for you. He's going to sit in the jails with us. That's all he's got. Facts. What a clown. If you guys think that this was definitely a clown move, throw some clown faces in the chat. Now, people be low-key glazing Trump. And here go my thing. If you're a Trump supporter, I ain't mad at you. Just admit it. Who are you trying to impress by the low-key glazing instead of just actually saying, I support Trump? Why people got to be fake about it? It's a lot of fake people out there, man.
Oh, yeah, I'm furious, Rev. Do you I don't know.
Hey, look at Al Sharpton sitting up there looking like a wax pit bull. Look at Al Sharpton sitting up there looking like a pencil neck pit bull.
Oh, I mean, I suppose we could do a poll of Black Americans and ask whether they are more likely to support somebody because they stole nuclear secrets from the White House. They stole secret war plans against Iran. They lied to the FBI.
None of that stuff do black people care about. And one thing that you should ask black people, Joe Scarborough, is how many black people want to sit there and listen to your idiot ass talk after you said all of that shit about Kyrie Irving. The only time anybody should ever deal with Joe Scarborough is when we're roasting the shit out of this clown. Would you agree? This dude is an irrelevant nothing. He's another one that has, quote unquote, outlived his usefulness. Would you guys agree? Right. Shout out to DeAndre. Al Sharpton sitting up there looking like a location pin. Facts. That's a good question. I'm not sure. What did he do? Kill somebody with kindness? What did that chump do? Kill somebody with kindness? And who arrested him? The fashion police? Oh, man.
About having those nuclear secrets and secret war plans, lied to the FBI and the Justice Department about having classified documents hidden in their beachfront resort. I mean, maybe Black Americans relate to that. I don't.
Hey, let me ask you guys this question, right? Did MSNBC do a special like this and see how Black Americans should have dealt with Joe Biden after saying this?
You ain't black.
What did Joe Scarborough and his surfboard nose have to say about this?
You ain't black.
Something to think about.
No, I wouldn't think they would. Do they relate to Trump telling his IT director to destroy all the evidence? And now the IT director testifying against him, or to maintenance people to flood the room where the IT.
Hey, Joe Scarborough, most Black people relate to the tweet that Kyrie Irving made. What are you going to do about it? Let me ask you guys a question. How many people in the comment section support Kyrie Irving and, quote unquote, the tweet? If you support Kyrie Irving and the, quote unquote, tweet, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't, then give me a thumbs down.
Department is to destroy all. I just don't know. Boy, it does seem like a stretch, doesn't it, Rev, to think that Donald Trump doing all of that and illegally paying off a porn star, according to the Manhattan DA, and trying to foment a riot on January the 6th. I'm not so sure, Rev. Help me understand. Why would Black Americans relate to Donald Trump? I don't understand the connection.
Well, first of all, let's be clear.
What Al Sharpton should have said is, first of all, you're not Black. That's the first thing that Al Sharpton, would you guys agree? That's literally the first thing that Al Sharpton should have said to him. You're not going to understand anything. Can you explain to me why you like disgusting under-seasoned food? That's what Al Sharpton should have said. But Al Sharpton is a self-centered, greed-driven, sadistic, amoral, traitorous piece of feces who is useless. This dude is a pro-Black coon to the fullest. A manufactured, outdated civil rights relic that is now a parasite to anything that anybody is trying to do. And you know what you do with parasites. You burn them off.
Trump is using the stereotype of blacks being criminals, and therefore we would gravitate.
Now, didn't Eric Adams use the stereotype of blacks being criminals? If you guys recall when Eric Adams used the stereotype of blacks being criminals, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't recall that, then give me a thumbs down. Let me ask you guys this question. Didn't Biden say that black men were super predators? You know, NBC never seems to address that. And so now let me guess. Let me ask you guys this question. So because of all of this, let me guess. We should vote for Biden. Because that's where all of this is going. See, this is why they need to have a studio audience of some actual people. So that people should say, you know what, you're right. Trump and Biden, neither one of them is shit. Hillary Clinton said it too. Facts, Carla. Shout out to DSB. DSB said Al Sharpton looked like Earthworm Jim.
Towards somebody in a mugshot. He's in a mugshot for trying to interfere with an election. Blacks were arrested to get the right to vote. That's what the marches were about. It is the epitome of an insult also when you think of the fact that it is a black man that is prosecuting him in Manhattan, Alvin Bragg, a black woman in Georgia, a black woman, the New York State Attorney General Letitia James. So he's saying that black people would relate to someone indicted for trying to undermine the elections by blacks, but we would go with him rather than them. The other part of this that is so amazing is Donald Trump himself has been part of these kinds of unfair prosecutions of blacks. It was he that took out ads in newspapers calling for the death penalty of 5 young black and brown boys of raping a white woman in Central Park who went to jail.
Black and brown? Wasn't the Central Park, was the Central Park 5 all black, or was it 1 or 2 Latinos with the Central Park 5? How many times do y'all hear Latino commentators and Latino politicians say black and brown? What do you guys think is wrong with these old, decrepit civil rights relics? Do you think they're starting to have early onset dementia? What do you think the problem is? What's wrong with these dipshits that they can't get through their head that they're not brown, that they need to be advocating for black people? You think, what do you think Al Sharpton's CT scan looks like? Do you think that it's anything inside of there? So there was blacks and a brown. Now, this is what people need to understand. Why do people get upset when they hear these people talk like this? This is my question. Shout out to Beach Material. Why are people upset? Let's talk about that. Why are people upset when they hear these people like Al Sharpton go on the mainstream media and say things that doesn't agree with how you feel they should be said? Is your anger in the right place? Let me ask you guys a question. What's the purpose of the white media? What's the purpose of it? What's the point of all this? What's the point of all this? Shout out to Hurricane. Hurricane said it's the propaganda arm. Which means that everything that's put on it is supposed to give off a false impression. Would you guys agree? How many people agree that everything that you see in the white media is supposed to give a false impression? So now, let me ask you guys this. Should we get upset that the white media is doing its job by hiring a pencil neck clown like Al Sharpton to cosplay as some type of astound leader? Or should we be upset that we have yet to develop an advanced global media apparatus where we can do the same thing? Now, when I say should we be upset, that doesn't mean to sit around and shame yourself or be like, oh, well, we ain't doing anything. Nah, that's the motivation to do it. If you notice that there's a deficiency or you notice that there's something that needs to be done, you don't sit around and be depressed about it. You do it. You make it happen. And then once you've made it happen, you maintain it. So a lot of times when I see people get upset about this kind of stuff, I'm like, I wonder if they got the clear picture that this is exactly what this machine was set up to do. Why are they saying black and brown? Because that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to derange the internal politics. They're supposed to dilute anything that we're trying to achieve. They're supposed to project a hologram of a false leader. That's what they're supposed to do. We have to create, design, and maintain our own independent media apparatus that instead of disorganizing like the white media does, it organizes and maintains organization. So the only thing that we should be frustrated about is that we need to put that together, which again is not something that people should be outraged about or say, I'm quitting, I'm bowing out. Nah, that's an opportunity. We need to come up with a competing media that has just as many eyes and ears. And and the questions that I always ask is, I don't know why people seem to be so shy or so timid when it comes to doing those kind of things, because anytime we do anything competitive, we always come out as the top competitor. So my question for everybody is, what is the problem? One of the problems that there is that a lot of these people, when they have a story, they'll go to this media here instead of coming to us. We need to start practicing lockout, blockout. Everybody likes seeing what black people do. So we can weaponize that by maintaining ownership of all of the stuff that we do and not allowing other people to get access to it and making them have to use our content or our interviews for primary source information. But people don't do that. The people in Dalton ran to Fox News to do a damn interview. The people in Chicago, they did the interview with Phil Scott, but they should have, if you ask me, they should have just left it at doing the interview with Phil Scott. And then all the other people who wanted to know what was going on in Chicago would have had to use Phil Scott's content. But instead, it's so many attention-starved, short-term people that it's a lot of people that won't hold out. They just go to whoever got an open ear that'll listen to them. Everybody ain't always trying to listen to what you got to say for your best interest. Those people on Fox don't care about none of them black people that are sitting there talking about they about to flip and vote Republican. They don't give a shit. The only thing they're doing is using you to substantiate a narrative that they've been pushing for years, that Chicago sucks. It's a downtrodden Democrat city. That's the only thing that they're doing. They're weaponizing your voice. They don't care about you voting for a Republican. The Republican that you vote for ain't going to do shit for you. People got to start figuring out when they getting used versus when they not. And then if you fell victim to game, then just realize you just got to chalk it up to the game. You fell victim. A lot of people been falling victim. People been falling victim for a long time when it comes to politics. Why do you think people have such a hard time admitting to that? What y'all think is up with people? What y'all think the problem is?
Falsely, it was later proven they didn't do it because of DNA. Donald Trump said no, punish them anyway. So all of a sudden, I've been in this movement for 40, 50 years. I've never seen him stand up for blacks that were treated wrong by the criminal justice system. But now he's a symbol of being persecuted. He's being persecuted by black prosecutors, a black woman.
He don't stand up for anybody either. What is Pencil Neck here talking about? And real quick, shout out to Ron Tober with the 1999 super chat. I definitely appreciate you, bro. Please make sure y'all show Ron some love. Throw some flames, radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat. Definitely appreciate you, bro. Yeah, I agree. So now let me ask you this, Patrick. Would you say that they hit him with symbolism? If you, and I want to ask that to Patrick and everybody in the room. If you guys agree that the Republicans hit their base with symbolism, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't think that they do, then give me a thumbs down. They hit them with symbolism too. You know what I'm saying?
Judge in the federal court in Washington, D.C., and any shameless blacks that are standing there applauding him needs to check the facts.
Now, he called any blacks. He called black people shameless on a panel with all white people. That's pretty damn pathetic. What is it? What does he think? What does he think he's doing? He think he's doing something. What are you doing? Man, if you don't sit your simple ass down somewhere and shut your stupid ass up, you better. That conch must have drained into his damn brain. I don't care what none of them white people on that damn panel think about a damn thing. That kind of shit right there is the kind of shit that'll get somebody to turn around and vote for Trump just because. You already knew I was going to say that, Patrick. You knew I was going to say that right when you hit enter. You was like, "Oh, this petty motherfucker." This petty motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Look at this clown. Let me ask you guys a question. Have y'all ever seen any, you know what I'm saying, any of these other people do this? Now, here's the thing, right? One thing that people get kind of messed up right here is that they'll sit there and be like, because Al Sharpton did this, quote unquote, black leaders do that. Remember, though, Al Sharpton not a black leader. So don't fall into that trap of if Al Sharpton do something, then everybody else do it. Because none of these people that do this are leaders. We didn't select none of these people. These are people that have been bought and paid. We don't pay Al Sharpton a paycheck. MSNBC pays him a paycheck. MSNBC, it has Al Sharpton as their black people correspondent. Now, what and how he's corresponding is beyond me, but he's on a paycheck to act that way. I don't shout out. Hey, listen, if it's some black people that's voting for Trump or if you're voting for Biden, as long as you have a justifiable reason that you have researched and used your brain and in your heart, you believe that you're doing the right thing. I mean, I might not agree with you, but I'm not going to sit up there and tell you you ought to be ashamed of yourself in front of a whole bunch of white people. That is a clown. They sure did. They sure did. How many people notice what Patrick is saying? Patrick said, and the camera person trolled Sharpton when he said that they cut to all the whites and him. You can't make it up, man. You cannot make this up. Let me ask you guys this. What kind of leader does that? They call him a leader? Let's compare him to all the other leaders. How many other leaders have you ever seen do something like that? Can anybody name any leaders that they've seen do something like that? What leaders have you all seen display themselves like that? Shout out to B1 first. What's good with it, bro? Make it make sense. And another thing, right, is why is it that when these people go in on black people like this, like Al Sharpton doing this, do you guys ever notice that none of the white people ever call them out? They never call them out. Now, if Al Sharpton was to go in on Asian people or, you know what I'm saying, some sombreros or something like that, oh, they would get all on him. They would correct him and everything. Nobody ever corrects anybody when they go in on blacks. Them white people sitting there shell-shocked, looking like some damn porcelain statues. Y'all notice that?
I've been in this movement for 40, 50 years. I've never seen him stand up for blacks that were treated wrong by the criminal justice system. But now he's a symbol of being persecuted. He's being persecuted by black prosecutors, a black woman judge in the federal court in Washington, D.C., and any shameless blacks that are standing there applauding him needs to check the facts.
Well, and Mika, he is also making racist comments against Letitia James. Again.
So you got this whole panel of white people sitting there directing Al Sharpton about what is versus what isn't racist. Let me ask y'all this. Do you think that Al Sharpton and civil rights era relics even have a clue of how stupid they look when they sit there like an idiot in this kind of situation? He looks like a complete idiot, doesn't he? Once again, Al Sharpton finds his dumbass on trial. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. If you guys agree with DeAndre, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. DeAndre said when black people get up there talking about black people bad, white people lean in and be like, tell me more. I always thought that way, but I want to hear it from you.
Against Fonnie Willis, against those prosecutors that happen to be people of color just because they're black. I guess he didn't.
Are they people of color or are they black? These white people don't even know who the hell they talking to or about. Are they people of color or are they black? And the only people on the screen that change color are you all. What are you talking about? Where do we get this people of color thing? The people that change color are not called people of color. None of this makes any sense. You guys ever seen those type of checks with the security thing on it and you put your finger on it and it'll disappear and you take your finger off of it and it turns pink? They do the same damn thing. Who are you calling people of color? If we're people of color, are you people of colors? Because y'all got that candy paint? I mean, like, what are we talking about here?
Maybe they didn't fit that into his speech.
Listen, first it was Navalny, and now it's the African-American community. These comparisons are sick and grotesque. Biden-Harris campaign co-chair.
These people do the same thing. Those comparisons are so sick and so grotesque that you had Al Pencilneck Sharpton on there as your quote-unquote black representation, and you just didn't have any room for any other black people on the show. Are you serious? It's designed this way. And what they're sitting back saying is, aha, you all don't have a global news media network where you control us. Aha. That's what's happening. Shout out to Maximus Royalty. What's good with it, bro? That's what's happening right now. They're sitting back saying, yeah, I know we shouldn't really be saying black and brown, but guess what? We're gonna. Because it's our news media. And the job of our news media is mind control and confusion. We can't have you not confused. Knowing that, we need to be dealing with a counteroffensive. We need to also make it where our news media, our global news network, is able to outprice and outsource to the point where we make it to where people like Al Sharpton can't even find a job. They need to be economically destroyed and completely discredited. When there is an actual global media network, one of the first initiatives that needs to be done is a complete and ongoing smear campaign that completely destroys the credibility and the public opinion of any of these people, so that anytime anybody opens their mouth, the only thing people do is say to shut it or laugh. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down.
Former Congressman Cedric Richmond responded in a statement, quote, Donald Trump claiming that black Americans will support him because of his criminal charges is insulting. It's moronic.
Now, let me ask you guys a question. When Donald Trump says that black people will support him because of his criminal charges, is Donald Trump speaking for 100% of white America? And should we assign his words to white America and say that this is the thought process that all white people have? All white people think that black people have some type of involvement in criminality. I think that we should, until he decides to prove otherwise, or until somebody else steps up and says, hey, we don't think that way. But they're not going to step up and say, hey, we don't think that way, because guess what? They think that way. So that's why we got to ask the question, do black men want to be used, or does MAGA want to use black men? Shout out to Carla. Yeah, you see your boy. Hold on real quick. I don't even see the comment no more. Your boy Fart Man came back. back in action. We would have never guessed that from him typing in the comment section, so he had to change his profile name and put it in and put it in parentheses. Fart Man said, "No white filth here." I beg to differ. I disagree. I disagree. And I don't know if you're aware, but the justice system, the injustice system that your ancestors set up, you don't get to say whether you're guilty or not. Somebody else determines if you are. Didn't your forefathers set it up like that? Oh, that's right. You an immigrant. I forgot. Your forefathers was criminal degenerates, mafia members, the original undocumented criminal crime ring. We need to actually talk about that. What's up with these criminal immigrant networks that come to the United States, start crime rings, and then act as if they built something up, that they were hardworking? Mafia degenerates, deleting each other all over the place, selling drugs, corrupting the Irish police department. Bringing the filth from Italy to the United States. Coming here to the United States and then saying that nobody could join their organization unless they were a foreign fuck from Sicily. What kind of shit is that? How patriotic is that? How patriotic is that? How patriotic is Al Capone? Oh, there you go. You guys heard it from his own mouth. So now anytime when I talk about their love of violence, degeneracy, criminality, lawlessness, it's been substantiated. So there's that. Glad we got that out of the way.
And it's just plain racist. He thinks black voters are so uninformed that we won't see through his shameless pandering. He has another thing coming. So, John Heilman,
It's amazing that Joe Biden said that, because Joe Biden literally did the same thing. You guys see that? And then Biden said, "We." Donald Trump is claiming that black Americans will support him because of his criminal charges is insulting. But again, what's this?
You ain't black.
What this tells me is that when it comes to either Democrats or Republicans, both groups of whites have an issue. Would you guys agree? Fartman asks, "Hey, Rob, do you like bananas?" I like bananas when those monkeys that look like you are eating them. What do they call them? Proboscis monkeys. I like bananas the best when there's a proboscis monkey that looks like somebody in your family eating one. Cassie said, "Can I tell you about this racist POS?" Nah, don't worry about him. He all right. I like you. You know I like to roast, so it's all good. Hold on, real quick. I'm about to show y'all his. I'm about to show y'all what his family picture looked like. Shout out to MC Fact, wherever MC Fact is. Now, fart boy, what's his name? Giuseppe or something like that? Is his name Giuseppe or is his name Sal? Which one? Or is it Gino? What you think he like? Paisans or pizza? You think he like pie and a soda or nah? You like blondes? Hey, they say blondes are more fun, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm just saying. But anyway.
Is shameless pandering. He has another thing coming. So John Heilman, I just, then there's Tim Scott.
Oh yeah, he invested. He been on a 2-year hiatus. Look, now he about to be nice. I was asking if you like potassium, bro. Got to get it in. No, you weren't. You played Call of Duty yet? And when I say Call of Duty, I'm talking about have you taken your out of work ass to work?
I don't know. It's very on the Republican side, the Trump acolytes, those that just stay with him through anything. It's beyond hard.
Hey, win, lose, or rug. Fart boy ain't just a member. He an OG member. You see what? you see, you see what color his badge is? He ain't just a member. He an OG member.
To watch. How do you think the overall Black community will respond to this? Remember his comments the first time around. What do you have to lose?
I mean, honestly, Mika, I don't think.
Hey, why are they asking a white dude? What do they think that the Black community? How do they think that the Black community will respond? Let me ask y'all this: do y'all ever see them ask a non-community member the question of how they think a community will react to something? Yeah, shout out to Poindexter. Yeah, what's good with it? This dude literally thinks that he's the only person in the world that works. You don't work at all. This this dude told us last year that he hasn't worked in 5 years.
Another thing coming. So John Heilman, I just, then there's Tim Scott. I don't know. It's very on the Republican side, the Trump acolytes, those that just stay with him through anything. It's beyond hard to watch. How do you think the overall Black community will respond to this? Remember his comments the first.
How is that guy going to be able to answer that question? This is my question for you guys. How is that white dude going to be able to answer this question about the quote unquote Black community? So I gotta ask y'all this: is this legitimate information? If you got a white lady asking a white man about how the Black community will respond to something, he sits on Twitch and plays Call of Duty. All the all the old school people know Fart Man. Fart Man ain't no problem, man. He just been sitting in the comment section talking shit.
Time around. What do you have to lose?
I mean, honestly, Mika, I don't think most Black voters are paying attention to the race at this point, and I don't think they're going to respond to this in particular in any way. But I would say that if you think about, the things that people talk about as being correctly, think about what are the concerns that the Biden campaign has going into a general election against Donald Trump. It's not so much these head-to-head polls. It's that they've seen their support among certain core constituencies slip, including non-white voters, dramatically. And at the core of that is a lot of Black.
Now, let me ask you this. Shout out to Kristen Roberts. Kristen Roberts says Black community don't have any real leaders. Now, here go my question. Do you guys agree with that statement? If you guys agree with that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Look at Poindexter. Poindexter says we have them. They're our husbands, sons, etc. I look at my dad as a leader. By Neely Fuller Jr.'s definition of what a leader is, my dad is definitely a leader. Neely Fuller Jr. said a leader is a person where if one of his people gets in trouble, can he come and get them out of trouble? And I can't tell you how many times my dad came and got me out of trouble. Kristen Roberts said that's why white people feel so comfortable speaking for the black community, and Joe Biden felt comfortable saying you're not black if you vote for him. Now, let me ask you this. Has a white person told you that? Did you get that information directly from a white person? Like, did you go up to Fart Man and say, Fart Man, tell me about how you feel? And Fart Man responded to you, well, I feel so comfortable speaking for the black community. And just so you know, inside information, Joe Biden felt comfortable saying, you're not black if you don't vote for him. Where'd you get that information from? That's my question. You stay offended. Your ass been offended now for about a year. You'll be all right. Shout out to Poindexter. Poindexter said Fart Man is really come on, hilarious. Oh man. So Carla agrees with Kristen. So we got one person that agrees with Kristen. So for the people that agree with Kristen, my question is, why don't we have any leaders? And here's another question. Are people comfortable with just we don't have any leaders? Let me ask you this. Do we have a large amount of people that are able to be led? Kristen Roberts says, you don't see these politicians disrespecting any other community. Why is that? Why don't you see Biden say you not Jay if you don't vote for him? What do you guys think? Shout out to Deneen. What's good with it, Deneen? Let me ask you this. Where would Biden say that kind of thing to Jays? Because Jays own all of the infrastructure that he would be able to deliver that message on. If they own all of the media apparatuses and you got Mark Zuckerberg owning one of the largest Facebook social media platforms, where would they be able to say that and not get smothered? So that could be one reason, because they have a way to put consequences on Joe Biden if he were to say something that's stupid. They also have a heavy presence in the legal system, and his son is having some legal issues right now. Let me ask you guys a question. If there was some little skinny guy walking past, or if there was Mike Tyson walking past, do you think that a bully would hit Mike Tyson, or would they hit the little skinny guy? Probably hit the little skinny guy, because they probably know that Mike Tyson would knock their ass out. I don't think that anybody looks at us like we'll knock their ass out. But hold on though, before we get into that, Christian, I need you to address what I'm saying right here though. Do you agree with me that that particular group of people that you used in this example here has a way of instituting consequences? What about the AIPAC? They'll just pull funding from all of the Democrats in their political platforms. So knowing that there's all of those consequences that could stack up, somebody will probably think about those consequences and say, might not be a good idea to chance disrespecting those people. Would you let everybody, I need everybody to participate here. Would you guys agree with me that everything that I said is true? So here's my question. Why do you feel that we don't have that? Why has that not been cultivated and developed? Why have people tolerated being directionless? Kristen says, yes, I agree with you. They have power and leaders that will speak up for their interest. The Black community doesn't have that representation and power. Now, here's my question, right? How do you develop that? Now, and then shout out to Kristen again for her comment right here. Kristen says the Black community have tolerated disrespect for 60 years. This is probably going to sound real bad. I don't think that most people were even aware to realize that they were being disrespected. And I still think that a lot of people today don't know that they are being disrespected. J. Edgar Hoover deleted all of the real Black leaders and vowed that the new Black leaders will be chosen by the government. So now here's my question. How come nobody has put up any resistance to that? And why did everybody just let J. Edgar Hoover just delete whatever Black people that he wanted to? Then migrants start whooping the police's ass when they boy got jumped. Shout out to Mike TV. What's good with you, bro? Yeah, I heard that. I heard that J. Edgar Hoover has some Black ancestry, or he was mixed or something like that. That's wild. Kristen says because Black people don't want to be free. They want to be comfortable. And that goes back into that question that I was asking in the beginning of the stream. What do people want? People got to figure out what they want. Do people want to maneuver inside of the system, or do people want to disrupt and destroy the system? Because the only way people are ever going to be able to live free and have the kind of life that they want to is if they disrupt and destroy the system. And people need to figure out, are they willing to do that? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man, Mike TV. Make sure y'all show Mike TV some love. Yo, and if y'all not subscribed to his channel, make sure y'all go over there and check my man out. He said, keep up the good work, Brody. Yo, I appreciate you, bro. You too. You over there killing it. Over there killing it. So what do y'all think about that? Because see, this is what I think. I think that people need to sit down and figure out what they want. I don't think that a lot of people know what they want. See, like, people always talk about like consciousness and all this stuff. When people actually, quote unquote, come into consciousness, the first thing that you come into consciousness and ask yourself is, what do you want? What is my destiny? Coming into consciousness means the understanding that you have influence at the very least, control at the very most of your destiny. So this is the question that I always be asking. What do people want their destiny to be? What is the extent of control or influence that you want to have over your destiny? Let me ask you guys a question. All of these identifiable problems that we've been talking about, these are problems that our parents were talking about. These were problems that our grandparents were talking about. I did a stream, I want to say maybe about 2 or 3 months ago, where we went over an old Malcolm X video. It was an interview that he had at University California, Berkeley, and they were talking about the same stuff. The same stuff. You know what I'm saying? Fart man still over there talking shit. Shout out to John Guillory. John said, I agree. Many people do not know their purpose or what they want. They just know something is wrong. Yeah, that's what happened with Neo when Neo first woke up. When Neo first woke up, Neo knew something was wrong, but he didn't know what was wrong yet. In The Matrix, which is a science fiction movie, but a similar scenario. You know what I'm saying? Kristen Roberts said integration destroyed the black community. Now, here's my question. A lot of people always say that. How did integration destroy the black community? What is the mechanical ways that integration allegedly destroyed the black community? How did it do it exactly? If I say life killed me, well, how did life kill me? Well, I had a heart attack. You know what I'm saying? So how did integration destroy the black community? Anybody can answer that question, by the way. I saw that they was doing the Nature Boy trial. I seen that. I don't know too much about it. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I would cover it, but I'm not too versed on what was going on there, except for from them old school streams that you had done back in the day, bro. When homeboy was homeboy was out in the rain and they was doing the choreographed dancing. Man, remember you used to play that? Remember you used to play that to get the likes up? Oh man. Oh, they postponed the trial until Thursday. I might have to check it out. How many of y'all want to see that? How many of y'all want to see that? That Nature Boy trial, man. Them old school streams, bro. Them was hilarious. Hilarious. Oh man, that was the best drop ever, man. That shit was hilarious. Oh man. So now Kristen said by making black people feel as if they were being included, giving black people the false sense of inclusion. So would you blame integration or would you blame being gullible if that's the case? Here's my question. Why do people feel a need to be included? Why would people want to be included with people that didn't want to include them? There's a lot wrong. See, to me, there's a lot wrong with that entire thing. The fact that people had a desire to be included with people who had harmed them for centuries, for one, that's an issue. You know what I'm saying? That's not how things are supposed to work. Why did people buy that? Let me ask you this. If somebody is out to trick you and they trick you, their goal is to trick you. That's what they're trying to do. So here's the real question. How was game not recognized? That's the question. Let me ask you this question. If there's a pack of wolves and every time you go around those wolves, they bite you, how many of y'all would make an effort to try to just be a part of that wolf pack? How many of y'all would do that? You go around the wolves, they bite you a couple times, they chase you through the woods, and then you finally convince them, well, let me be right in the center of the wolf pack. How many of y'all would do that? Me personally, I wouldn't do that, but a bunch of people did. So what creates that thought pattern? Think about that. What creates that thought pattern? And it's what it seems like is that there's just this constant, ongoing issue of people getting tricked. Why is that? What, remember that saying, fool me once, right? So fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. Wait, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. What is fool me 300 years? What do we call that? Mike said, don't F it up like Bush did. Right. Shout out to Kristen. Kristen says, because black people judge their enemy on an individual basis. They don't understand white supremacy. Do you all agree that most black people judge their enemies on an individual basis and they don't understand white supremacy? I think that a larger amount of black people than admit it understand white supremacy. I think that there's a large portion that just purposefully deny it. And I think that a lot of us end up caping for those people that purposely deny it. If you're a black American and you've lived in the United States and your whole family been in the United States the entire time, you know that white supremacy exists with plenty of examples that could come right from your own family stories. Everybody knows about that shit. If we've been living in the United States this entire time and people don't understand it, I don't know. It only takes you 12 years to get a K through 12 education. We've been dealing with white supremacy for damn near, thousands of years if you're talking about before the United States. At what point does the learning curve start to get a little bump and going from flat to a bump? And here's another thing. Why is it that immediately, like, there's all these people, right? You got the black conservatives and all that. All these black people. They'll all sit there and deny white supremacy. But as soon as something happens to them that resembles white supremacy, the first thing that they'll say is that it's racism. So that what that tells me is that they know exactly what racism is. They know exactly what white supremacy is. They just lie about it the same way a lot of people lie about liking Trump. I don't want to sound a certain kind of way because I'm on YouTube. People will laugh at me. People will make fun of me and shit. I got to be an undercover conservative. I got to sit here and talk Trump up as much as I can. And then I got to turn around and call him a white supremacist a million times because I just can't be me and say, I want to vote for Trump. Because it's cults out here. Got to do what the cults say. Can't nobody be an individual. Can't be an individual if you're a collective. Got to swim in the same direction as the other fish. You know what I'm saying? So we got to figure this shit out. Why is it that the people that deny racism, when they deal with something that's actually racist, they immediately call it racism if they don't understand it? How's that work? Candace Owens, Larry Elder, Tim Scott, they've all done it. Oh, we don't understand racism. There's no such thing as racism. Oh, I'm going to act like I have no idea what's going on. As soon as they deal with some racist shit, oh, this is racism. I thought you didn't understand it. I thought there was no such thing. So now it's not like it's not a lack of information, right? Neely Fuller Jr., Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, Dr. Amos Wilson. Let me ask you guys this. How many people feel that there's sufficient resources out there to know and understand WS? If you guys feel that there's sufficient resources out there to know and understand WS, give me a thumbs up. If you don't feel that there are, then give me a thumbs down. So now, I believe that there are. I believe that there's plenty of books. I believe that people have plenty of life experiences. I believe that there's plenty of family members you can get firsthand information from. So now here's my problem. Knowing that we have all of these resources, what is it that get people stuck? Why are people stuck? They just get stuck. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. Why is that? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section.
Black voters, and the Biden campaign comes back and says, hey, wait until the race is clear that Donald Trump is the nominee. When we get to the fall, and it's this binary choice between the two, the African-American community in America is going to remember that Donald Trump is an existential threat, and they are going to come home to us. We have a lot of work to do, but they're going to come.
Fear-mongering. Fear-mongering. You see that? What do you guys think about? What do you guys think about what he just said? This is fear-mongering.
To this point, and I don't think they're going to respond to this in particular in any way, but I would say that if you think about, the things that people talk about as being correctly, think about what are the concerns that the Biden campaign has going into a general election against Donald Trump. It's not so much these head-to-head polls. It's that they've seen their support among certain core constituencies slip, including non-white voters, dramatically, and at the core of that is a lot of black voters. And the Biden campaign comes back.
Yeah, now I agree. Shout out to Kristen. That's a great answer. Kristen says inappropriate behavior, like Claude Anderson was saying. If black people understood white supremacy, why have they been voting for Democrats over 60 years plus expecting different results? Choice. How many of those people voted Democrat said, well, I'm going to vote for the worst, the better of two evils? So that what that tells me is that they know that they're evil. They know that both are evil, and I'm still going to support one anyway. Why are people looking to a political system that had us slaves at all? A political system that weaponized Jim Crow and black code laws against us at all. Why do people still worship forced religion? You know what I'm saying? If you ask me, we got to ask all of those questions. And real quick, shout out to y'all. If y'all haven't smashed the like button, please take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment and hit the bell and share the stream to your social media. That would be great.
Back and says, hey, wait until the race is clear that Donald Trump is the nominee. When we get to the fall, and it's this binary choice between the two, the African-American community in America is going to remember that Donald Trump is an existential threat, and they are going to come home to us. We have a lot of work to do, but they're going to come home.
So let you guys hear this. They think that we're playing chicken right now, and when it comes down to the last 5 seconds on the shot clock, everybody bitch up and vote for the Democrats without any promise of anything that they're going to do.
These kinds of comments, and not these comments specifically, but the fact that Donald Trump will make this kind of comment, he's made these kind of comments for years, as Rev points out. He will make them into the future because this is who Donald Trump is. I only see black faces. Look at how far I've come.
Again.
You ain't black. You ain't black. You ain't black.
What about, let me ask you guys this. Anytime Joe Biden is asked about reparations, what does Joe Biden do? Does he ever address the question? He doesn't even just say, no, I'm not, that's not happening. He doesn't say that. He doesn't even acknowledge that he was even asked the question. Now, when this guy on NBC here, when he says, well, we acknowledge that we have a lot of work to do. Well, what work? What is it that you acknowledge? What work do you acknowledge that you got to do? Let me ask y'all in the comment section, what work do the Democrats have to do? Because according to this guy, they acknowledge that they got some work to do. Okay, well, what are you saying?
Ha ha ha. That is the kind of thing that Trump will say, has been saying it for a long time, will keep saying it. And that is why the Biden campaign is right. They have at least something to cling to there when they say, hey, you know, when people start to focus on this race, our core constituencies will come back because they'll remember who Donald Trump is. And he'll be in front of them, showing them who he is day after day after day. This is kind of a preview of the kind of thing they're counting on in the fall to bring African-American voters back to Joe Biden with the kind of intensity they had back in 2016 back in 2020.
Yeah, a Trump advisor told me and made the same argument that the indictments would make black voters go for Trump, that the mugshot would make black voters go for Trump. Went on to add that the new line of Trump sneakers would appeal to black voters and would make them go on to try.
What's funny about this is to hear these Democrats acting like they're this outraged, and these are literally the tactics that this same group of crooks has been using for the last 60 years. Would you guys agree? They're literally sitting here acting like they're outraged by Trump doing this, but they've been doing the same thing and benefiting off of it. They've been robbing people using the same technique. They've been robbing people using the same technique. And they sit up here acting like they outraged about it. They sitting up here acting like they outraged about it. They know they not outraged about this. They just mad because Trump using what they do. And now they feel they might have to try something else that they're not used to.
Which, of course, we can all leave that aside, just how grossly offensive that is. So, Matt Lewis, let's just
especially with those sneakers.
Well, yeah, also
I mean, my God, they're just the worst.
Matt Lewis, let's give you the final word here on this particular moment. It's true. Hammond's right, and that Republicans and Trump in particular think they've made inroads with black voters, though he may have just hurt himself with these comments. It is an area of concern for Democrats. They know they have to work hard to get them back, and their constituencies are saying, "Hey, don't take us for granted." How do you see this dynamic playing out as November approaches?
Well, to me, what's so interesting about this is, first of all, this is almost trickled down, right? So like Donald Trump didn't come up with the bogus I'm Navalny, even though he unveiled it at CPAC last week. He didn't come up with that. That came from Dinesh D'Souza, Lee Zeldin. Similarly, this racist notion that the mugshot would make Trump popular with African Americans, that's like a year and a half old. I think it came from like Dinesh D'Souza and Laura Loomer, kind of fringe right-wing activist types. Trump then, at some point, it gets to him. And, you know, there's an old expression in politics, hang a lantern on your problem. How do you make a mugshot into a positive? How do you make?
Shout out to Mo Facts. Hey, that's big facts, bro. If y'all agree with Mo Facts, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree with Mo Facts, give me a thumbs down. Mo Facts says any vote casted will be cast for WS. If you agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Yeah. And I don't think that people want to acknowledge that, bro. I think that people want to live in a delusional world and think that their vote is actually going to do something, regardless of who it's for. I don't think that most people have the gumption to understand that in order to deal with what we got going on, it's got to be destroyed from the roots down. I don't think that there's many people who have that in them. And the thing is that it is what it is. If people don't have it in them, they just don't have it in them. Winning ain't built for everybody. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, people shouldn't complain about losing if they don't try to compete. And there's a lot of people that ain't really trying to compete, but are trying to sell a bill of goods like they're being competitive, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Chanel. What's good with the Chanel?
The fact that you've been supporting Putin for all of these years and his opposition leader was just poisoned, or not, he was poisoned, then went to jail, died in jail. How do you put a happy face on that if you're Donald Trump? Their ability to come up with these bizarrely devious, in some cases almost evil, brilliant, but also entirely flawed, obviously, and bogus excuses is pretty unparalleled. I can't believe the audacity of doing it. Some of them I think are better than others, but I imagine that there's someone out there in middle America right now who's not paying that close of attention to politics, who now thinks, oh yeah, Trump is just like Navalny. He's the victim.
Right.
He's casting himself as a victim once again. If nothing else, it's impressive that he keeps trying.
All right, so there's that. So now my question for you guys is, what do you all think about that? I wasn't really impressed by what the Morning Joe said. I thought it was a bunch of nonsense. And I think that Al Sharpton is a clown. That dude literally sat up there and said, shame on black people that vote for Trump in front of a cloud of white people. Let me ask y'all this question. How many of y'all would have done what Al Sharpton did? If you would have done what Al Sharpton did, give me a thumbs up. If you wouldn't, give me a thumbs down. Now, shout out to my man Bronze of God. Bronze of God sent me this article this morning. I was like, oh, yo, this is perfect. This go right with talking about what we was going to talk about. Donald Trump Jr. boasts about black men has people in disbelief. Now, let me ask you guys, what do you guys think that Donald Trump Jr. said about black men? If you ask me, a lot of black men, like I said, the male advocates, you know what I'm saying? Incels, red pill, a lot of people in those little sectors of the internet, they set themselves up for this. They've been glazing Donald Trump for like the last 7 years. So they've been glazing, and now Trump and them is cashing in on the glaze. And so that they don't look stupid, they'll go around and say, well, why are you upset that Trump said this kind of stuff? You got to stop being so sensitive. You got to stop being so sensitive. But what's interesting about it is that you got to stop being so sensitive, but literally nobody else even has to deal with the upfront disrespect. Just you. But you just shouldn't say anything about it because a bunch of glazers are following Trump. Y'all been on YouTube. Y'all heard all these people glazing Trump all these years and all of the undercover support. Shout out to MoFax. MoFax said, truth be told, a portion of black Trump supporters are drawn to his ability to be tacky, trashly, or terroristic. And that's because a lot of black conservatives are pookies. There are a lot of black conservatives are pookies with a suit on. There's the pookie sector of black conservatives, and then there's the pro-black coon sector of black conservatives. You know what I'm saying? Them ones that'll find a childhood picture of you next to your white friend in kindergarten, and as a 6-year-old child tell you you're in a picture with white supremacy, but then to turn around and say that they whole crew voting for Trump. So you got the pookies, the conservative pookies, and then you got the pro-black coons. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to AB Promotions. I'm so I'm so disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kristen. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Kristen. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, okay, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I hear you. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. You got people up here on YouTube taking themselves way too serious. Like, man, go get you some cold water and pour that shit over your head and sit your ass down somewhere. You know what I'm saying? But they've been glazing Trump for a while now. Y'all know I ain't lying. Them videos all gone probably, and people them lost their channels and shit like that. But them Trump glazers is out there. And they set themselves up for this. They've been doing that glazing for all them years. And now you got Trump Jr. sitting around boasting about black men. Notice how he's specifically boasting about black men. He's boasting about black men because all them niggas had YouTube channels sitting up there talking all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Donald Trump Jr. evoked the tall tales of his father, former President Donald Trump, with his latest brazen claim. On a new episode of Trump's Scion Triggered podcast, the businessman claimed that black men repeatedly tell him he's their hero. What delusional, clearly in need of help brother said that? Where you at so we can throw you a life raft? Shout out to Kristen. And that's exactly 100%. Not only can black conservatives never tell us what the Republicans have promised to do for the black community, black conservatives can never talk about what they've advocated for the black community. Black conservatives can't address what kind of blackness they're conserving, except for, I don't know, Jim Crow or slavery. You know what I'm saying? Black conservatives can never show any fingerprints or footprints of outreach. Have you ever watched a black conservative YouTube video that just inspired you to vote for Trump? I mean, have you ever just sat there and saw a thumbnail with Greg Foreman on it looking like he's really trying to push out a log-sized turd? And you click on the video despite the fact that his ugly face is scrunched up on there like somebody balled up a paper bag. And then you watch the video and you see nothing but degeneracy. You may as well watch a World Star hip hop video, because for some reason it seems like black conservatives only think that World Star is what encompasses the black world. And then you were so inspired by either the stink face or the toxic content that you saw, and you said, you know what? I'm going to go vote for Trump tomorrow. Has that ever happened for anybody? Has anybody ever experienced that? It just hasn't happened for me. I haven't sat there and listened to Officer Tatum rant and rave about how disgusted by being black that he is. And I said, you know what? This just inspired me to vote conservative. You know? MoFax says Trump understands that pandering to black men will result in hundreds of millions of dollars in free campaign ads. And here go the question that you got to ask. Why would the black men give him all the free campaign ads? If you're going to do something like that, get the money. Get a deal, some type of marketing or PR or promotion deal or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just do this shit for free. How many people in this chat here have told Donald Trump that he's their hero? How could you say that Donald Trump is your hero before saying your own dad is your hero? I could never think of any man that I would say is my hero before my dad first. The hell is wrong with these dudes? And this is what I'm talking about. This is how you know that most of these black conservatives come from the single parent homes that they talk about. What male doesn't think of their dad as their like superhero? Seriously. It's like automatic. You know what I mean? So my question is, who are these? Who? Yeah, exactly. Shout out to Mo Fax and shout out to Katsy. My dad is my hero. I don't have no other heroes besides my dad. I didn't have no other hero. Didn't nobody else ever do anything in my life to qualify as heroic, except for my dad. That's how you know. See, this is the year of exposure, man. These black conservatives getting exposed. Most of these are reformed pookies that come from the very single mother households that they'd like to try to shame everybody about. It'll be a single mother conservative, black conservative pookie that'll try to sit there and tell somebody else that they come from a single parent household when they don't even know their dad's name. And they mad about it. So they project it onto everybody else. Well, you didn't grow up with your dad. Actually, my mom and my dad are still married. What's your dad's name? I only know my stepdad. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these dudes that quote unquote want to be conservative, they only want to be conservative because they got a problem with women. You mean to tell me that your sex desires drive your politics? If that's the case, sit it down. You're not about business. Sit it the hell down. You're not about business. You know what I'm saying? The internet, all these clowns on the internet set this up for these people to be able to sit there and go around saying that black men see Donald Trump as a hero. A hero? Seriously? I traveled all over the country. I fly commercial, Trump Jr. said, and I've seen and witnessed now more than ever the amount of African-American men that have come up to me literally like, hey, man, you're my hero. Those are some lost souls, man. Those are some lost souls. Now, you know, a lot of this is probably delusion and projection. But I doubt it. Now, shout out to Kristen. Kristen says, quote unquote, black community doesn't have a code. That's really the biggest downfall, if you ask me. Now, that's an interesting statement, and is and I agree that definitely has a lot to do with certain things. You know what I'm saying? But now, Neely Fuller Jr. wrote a code book that everybody could read. You know what I'm saying? But I would agree that a lot of people kind of just, you know, they say something. Anytime something happened, we got to get on code. We got to get on code. How many times we got to get on code? I've been hearing that shit for years. How many of y'all have been hearing that shit for years? I got to get on code. When is it going to stop being got to get on code, and when people going to start getting the sticker for I've been on code now for 10 years? When is that going to happen? You know what I'm saying? It's like living in Cleveland, man. It's like being an Ohio boy. You know what I'm saying? Especially being a Cleveland Browns fan. Every year is, how about next year? The fuck? How long do people, I mean, you know what I mean? So then allegedly Trump says, I'm like, what? Like, really? He added, I did not have that in my bingo card. Let's listen to this real quick.
I travel all over the country. I fly commercial. I'm all, you know, I have seen and witnessed now more than ever, you know, the amount of African-American men that have come up to me literally like, hey man, you're my hero. I'm like, what? Really? Like, I did not have that in my bingo card.
Literally nobody came up to you and said that you're their hero, unless it was people on YouTube. Shout out to Jab Bad. What's good with it, Jab? Unless it was people on YouTube, unless it was YouTubers, unless it was some goofy ass YouTubers that think that your dad is gonna make them some policies that's gonna help them get a woman easier. Which I don't know how. I don't know how any political policy gonna help you get a woman easier. You know what I'm saying? You should be getting a woman based off of your swag, your resources, and your game. You know what I'm saying? Not because you need to create some type of draconian measures to where you're such a geek that you have to have some type of dictator measures to force women into your arms and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they want women in hijabs like Sneeko and Andrew Tate. Who come from that sector of the internet. You know what I'm saying? You know? Shout out to Keldrick. What's good with it, bro? It all ties together. Shout out to Mofax. Mofax said, wouldn't the passport bros be for mass immigration? It's saving them a trip. I think a lot of the passport bros don't even want to rock with America. Like, they want to just get out of the country, period. Aside from finding some women. You know what I'm saying? Now, I ain't mad at the passport bros. You know what I'm saying? I think they got a lot of goofy representation on YouTube, but I ain't mad at them. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at women that go overseas and try to find a dude neither. The West creates unrelationshipable people. If you're lucky enough to find somebody that you're compatible with in the West, congratulations. But I am not mad at you if you're one of those people that can't find anybody. You know what I'm saying? Because the West ain't just spitting out decent people on the male side or on the female side. You know what I'm saying? Those people that have been lucky enough and fortunate enough to find a good spouse or a good relationship partner and raise a family or whatever here, shout out to y'all, man. But it's the minority, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? But I think they got people making that shit look dumb and doing all kind of stupid shit on YouTube, and it's giving that shit a bad name. You know what I'm saying? And then you got people, and they just turned it into a whole hot mess. You know what I'm saying? But now, anyway, critics on X, formerly Twitter, thought Trump Jr.'s boast was reminiscent of the stories his dad often tells, usually invoking strong, tough guys who have never cried before, tearing up while demonstrating their admiration for him. Meanwhile, Donald Trump, here's my question. How much admiration do you have for a guy that got a quote unquote small loan of $1 million from his dad? I mean, you worked so damn hard. Yeah, that's facts, Hula Gang. Big facts. And yeah, I wish I could tell you, Hurricane. I think we live in a attention currency world nowadays. So, you know, we're dealing with a lot of nerds who now have a lot of eyes on them, and they're not used to those eyes. So anything they do, they got to show the entire world. Like you dealing with actual Steve Urkel with a passport. So just imagine if Steve Urkel had a passport and a phone where as soon as, you know what I'm saying, like he went overseas and, you know what I'm saying, like found some woman that is overseas, you know what I'm saying, that was better looking than a woman that he found in the United States. The first thing that he gonna do is show everybody because he don't believe the shit himself. Hi guys, I'm live on YouTube. I just found this beautiful woman. She's a 10. She barely speaks English. The only thing that she knows how to cook is rice. Hold on a second. That's my camera's upside down. I'm sorry. Say hi for the camera. Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. My bank account's empty. And who are these 10 guys walking up to me with these machine guns? Ow! That's the end of that live stream. Now this fool on the news and shit, they can't find him nowhere. They can't find him nowhere. Ow, don't rob me. I only have $500. The foreign chick, I get you money. I thought you said I get you money. I get you money. No, she foreign, fool. She not talking right. She meant to say I'm gonna get your money. I get you money. Oh, she's gonna get me money. No, she's not gonna get you money. She's gonna get you for your money. She foreign. She leaving words out and mispronouncing shit. You know what I'm saying? Tonight on Channel 5, man gone missing in Colombia. You know what I'm saying? That's how that shit be. That's how that shit be happening, man. That's how that shit be happening. That's exactly what she said. She in a picture with him. I get you money. You know what I'm saying? She's signaling for the foreign pookies to come over and stick him up. Hey, wait a minute. Is this your brother? No. Them some damn La Tren de Agua motherfuckers that haven't made it to the United States through Biden's open borders yet. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, meanwhile, Donald Trump, the Republican frontrunner and likely end rival of President Joe Biden in November, claimed his criminal indictments are one reason black people like me during the Black Conservative Federation's honors gala last week. And not one of them nitwits had the nerve to stand up and say, well, we're the good Negroes. We're better than all those other Negroes. We don't have mug shots. We just have ugly mugs. They didn't say that. They just sat there and laughed and chuckled and, oh, by the way, your son, he's my hero. Seriously? 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 Yeah, foreign Pookie need that coyote money. Big facts, Mo facts. Latin America isn't safe. It's facts. It's not safe at all. They got them. I'm telling you, them chicks down there be like, I get you money. And next thing you know, Jose, Emilio, you know what I'm saying? They all right down there. Yeah. You know what that mean? Give me the money. Or you won't make it back to the airport. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Oh, man, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? I've been live way longer than I wanted to be live, but I'm glad that I was live this long. I hope y'all enjoyed the live stream because I enjoyed chopping it up with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to shout out the stream sponsors. I got some clips that I'm about to put up a little bit later. We got a Reacts podcast coming at 3. So hopefully y'all be around to see that. Shout out to my man, Al McCowan. Shout out to AB Promotions. Shout out to Miss Nisi. Shout out to Miss Nisi again. Shout out to my man, Black Star Racer. Shout out to Patrick Tyler. Definitely appreciate you, bro. Shout out to Ron Tolbert. And shout out to my man, Mike TV. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I hope that y'all enjoyed the stream. Please make sure that y'all leave comments at the end. Make sure that y'all share it out. If you're not subscribed to Reacts, all you got to do is just stay in this live stream. It'll take you right in there. We'll be live at 3. And as always, ladies and gentlemen,